You on?
Yep, come. I'll be right back.
Shalom, we out here once again giving all praise to Yahweh Shem Yahushua Kadash. We're going to go right into it. Sacrifice of Bozrah. Hey, so you know what I want?
I knew it.
You know, give me Isaiah 34 and start at the top. So as soon as you got it, go ahead and get it.
Okay. Isaiah 34.
And start at the top. Then we'll go with the spirit and the precept and so forth.
Isaiah 34.
Verse 1.
Yeah. Isaiah 34 and 1. Come near, ye nations, to hear, and hearken, ye people. Let the earth hear.
So this thing that we're teaching is a global thing. So this goes out to all the nations. Go ahead.
Come near, ye nations, to hear, and hearken, ye people. Let the earth hear, and all that is therein, the world and all things that come forth of it. For the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations.
Yeah, indignation means righteous anger, justifiable anger. So it's going to be justifiable when he takes his place out, when he makes America's sacrifice. Go ahead.
For the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations.
For the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations. Now go right quick to Psalms 83, and give me the list.
Con.
And then go to Numbers 24.
Okay. Psalm 80, right to the point in Psalm 83?
Yeah, go right to the list of nations. Go ahead.
Psalm 83 and 5. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom.
Which are the so-called white people. Now, one thing about Edom is the so-called white man, Edom doesn't want to admit that he's an Edomite, but he's an Edomite. Everything points to you. You got any other group saying that Edom is somebody else, the Arabs, it was done away with? The Esau is still here, man. That's why you think the Most High, is the Most High going to mention Edom that many times and he's already done away with? That doesn't make no damn sense. Go ahead.
The tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites.
The Ishmaelites are the Arabs. And they know it because some of these nations, some of these ancient nations in the scriptures, they still call themselves after their ancient names, man.
They know.
Ishmaelites.
Yeah, they know.
Elamites, which are, if you go to the Iranian encyclopedia and you look up the word Carmania, they tell you it goes right back to the Persians, and the Persians go back to Elam. That's in their book, so they know.
They know.
Kush, or the Ethiopians, when you look up Ethiopia, it's a term, it's a word that the Greeks, when they conquered the Kushites, they named them Ethiopia, which means burnt face. You know? Go ahead.
The tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites of Moab and the Hagarenes, Gebal and Ammon and Amalek.
All those people are from the Fertile Crescent. Go ahead.
The Philistines with the inhabitants
The Philistines are also from that area. The Fertile Crescent. Go ahead. The Middle East. Go ahead.
with the inhabitants of Tyre. Ashur also is joined with them. They have holpen the children of Lot.
Ashur is the Assyrians. Lot had two sons, and they became Moab and Ammon. Ammon was a grandson, I believe, of Lot, because he had a father. I forget his name, but his son's son became
Lot.
Oh, wait a minute. It was Lot, and Moab and Ammon. They both came out of Lot, but Ammon was the grandson of Lot. Go ahead.
That's it.
Go ahead. No, keep reading.
Oh, do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin at the brook of Kison, which perished at Endor, they became as dung for the earth.
Go ahead.
Make their
Well, Esau's going to become dung as earth.
Yep.
Dung as the earth. And what you got to understand is the Most High is not just taking. The Most High is not just taking out Edom. He's taking out all these nations.
Yeah.
America is known as a great melting pot.
yeah.
You know,
Yep.
the great cauldron.
Yeah.
We have all these different nations. Go ahead.
Make their
So
no
you got Moab over here. You got Ammon over here. You got the Philistines over here. You got all those nations that are over here. And that's the Most High is gonna. This is the ultimate sacrifice.
yeah.
The burnt offering.
The altar.
You know, and it also includes Israelites. They're gonna be sacrificed too.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Make their
This
nobles
is gonna be the biggest sacrifice. That's what this is all about. Why you think the Most High got us over here? Because we represent the altar, man. So we're telling you what's gonna happen, and the Most High is gonna whisk us out of here. Matter of fact, hold that and get me Revelation 11 and start from the top.
Revelation 11 and 1. And there was given me a reed like unto
See,
a
Esau
rod.
can't see this.
Nope.
Because Esau, the Most High, didn't open up your eyes for this, man. You trying to find a way out.
Right.
Go ahead.
And there was given me a reed like unto a rod. And the angel stood, saying, Rise and measure the temple of the heavenly Father, and the altar, and them that worship therein.
And the altar. So we represent part of the altar. And them that worship therein are the ones that the believers, go ahead, of Israel. Go ahead.
But the court which is without the temple leave out, and measure it not, for it is given unto the Gentiles.
And now that's talking about the actual Gentiles. The Edomites and Ammonites and Moabites. Go ahead. Ishmaelites. Go ahead. Midianites. Go ahead.
And the holy city shall they tread underfoot 42 months.
Yeah, 42 months. That represents a segment of time. That represents from the time we got over here up until really the countdown really started in the 70s. So we got over here in the 1600s. So now Esau is living on borrowed time.
Yep.
Go ahead.
And I will give power unto my 2 witnesses.
And the 2 witnesses represent on a macro level represents the kingdom of Judah and the kingdom of Israel. And that's why you have the tribes together. You got some of us are Ephraimites, some of us are Levites, some of us are Judites, some of us are Issacharites, and so forth and so on. You know, you go to different camps, you see some guys looking Mexican looking Puerto Rican looking. You know? Go ahead.
And I will give power unto my 2 witnesses, and they shall
And we represent the 2 witnesses. Go ahead.
and they shall prophesy 1,203 days,
That's a certain segment of time. Go ahead.
clothed in sackcloth.
And what do we clothe in? We clothe in sackcloth, man. Clothing of mourning. We're in a mourning state. We're not in a glorified state. Go ahead.
These are the 2 olive trees and the 2 candlesticks standing before the power of the earth.
Now, the 2 olive trees and the 2 candlesticks, when you go back, well, you can even go to Revelation 1 and Revelation 2. You don't got to go to that, but it speaks about the 7 churches. It speaks about the candlesticks, the 7 candlesticks and the 7 candles. But then it goes into, what is that in Zechariah, I believe.
Yeah.
It speaks about the 2 candles. We're not going to go all into it, but we can do a sit down on it. All right, go ahead.
And if any man will hurt them, fire proceedeth out of their mouth, and devoureth their enemies. And if any man will hurt them, he must in this manner be killed.
Yeah, so example of that is a good example of that is when Elijah received that spiritual power. Go ahead.
These have power to shut heaven that it rain not in the days of their prophecy, and have power over waters to turn them to blood, and to smite the earth with all plagues.
Because you had the ancient prophets, some of them had spiritual power.
Like
and we're looking to get spiritual power. Go ahead.
And to smite the earth with all plagues as often as they will. And when they shall have finished their testimony, the beast that ascendeth out of the bottomless pit shall make war against them.
So what time period is that talking about? Read that part again.
The 7th verse, Revelation 11:7. And when they shall have finished their testimony, The beast that ascendeth out of the bottomless pit.
So that's talking about during the time of Christopher Columbus.
Right.
That's what it's talking about. So the two witnesses represent the kingdom of Israel and the kingdom of Judah back when we was in our power, when we were rebuking the nations, man. So when did we get taken down? During the time when the Byzantine, so-called Byzantine Empire started going down.
Right.
Go ahead.
The beast
and the Europeans came out, which are the Edomites. Go ahead.
The beast that ascendeth out of the bottomless pit shall make war against them.
So when did they start making war? When Christopher Columbus went to the other side. First of all, they took down the Byzantine Empire with the Ottoman Turks. The capital of the Byzantine Empire is Constantinople.
Yeah.
And then it was changed to, when the Turks took it over, to Istanbul.
Istanbul, yeah.
But formerly it was Constantinople, which was named after the line of the Constantines. So that's what that's talking about right here, right now.
Right there,
that's what it's talking about. When Esau came into power. Matter of fact, go right quick to Revelation 20, and you can start from the top on that one. We're going to read into that too.
Yep, I got it. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 20, verse 1. It says, and I saw an angel come down from heaven having the key of the bottomless pit.
You can come on this side. Come on this side. I want to.
Okay.
Go ahead.
It says, and I saw an angel come down from heaven having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand. And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years.
You can break it down too.
It says, and I saw an angel come down from heaven having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand. The great chain in his hand represents slavery, pretty much because the Roman Empire was taken down by Jake, and then they were bound, or they were put under that dark cloud, so to speak, for a period of 1,000 years. It says, and he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, which are all names for the Edomites. You know, it's just not talking about the actual spiritual demon Satan. This is talking about the people that represent Satan on the planet, which are the Edomites. It says, and bound him 1,000 years. So from the period when the Flavian dynasty fell, you know, you had Nerva.
Well, actually, that time period started during the time of Constantine the Great.
Yeah.
First, when he sat on the throne at 325 AD. And when they started to go down, it was in the mid 1300s. So that wasn't exactly 1,000 years, but it was about the time period of 1,000 years. The Most High don't always deal with exact numbers.
That's right.
You know?
Or the Babylonian Empire ruled over what, 67?
Yeah, about 67. I think
years?
the actual, but it was 70 years.
70 years, yeah.
Yep.
It says, I'm sorry.
Then you had events like the bubonic plague that helped to bring down Jake.
To help to bring down Jake so Esau can take us down.
Take us down.
Go ahead.
It says, and cast him into the bottomless pit. Now, the bottomless pit is Europe. You know, now when you read the scriptures in the Apocrypha, it speaks about different pits. One pit of land that the Lord is pleased with. Just showed you that it's talking about an actual land. You know, so it says, and cast him into the bottomless pit and shut him up and set a seal upon him that he should deceive the nations no more. And they weren't able to do that. Because the very first thing they did when they came out of that situation was what? Deceive the whole world.
Yeah, they put up that so-called white Jesus Christ.
Well, that's what they did it through Renaissance. That's why I call it Renaissance Christianity. The Esau has his Christianity, but it's his Christianity. It's Renaissance Christianity. It's the white man Christianity.
White supremacy.
You know, that's why they go against. That's why those Christians, those Edomite Christians, come against our Christianity, which is true Christianity, because their thing is everything is white. Everything in heaven is white.
Right.
You know, go ahead.
Apostle Todd did a video. I forgot the name of it. He showed the picture of the supposed 144,000.
Oh boy!
And they were all.
I did the video the other day. And I showed the picture. I went to Google. I put 144,000. It was all a bunch of white men with white beards and crowns on their head, and there was no Chinese people. There was no
all crackers.
You know. Then there was another one where you had a bunch of Edomites, and you had one Negro, light-skinned Negro, with no beard on his face. And this is ridiculous. And that's called white supremacy.
White
man.
supremacy.
You're gonna call us out on black supremacy or whatever. That's white supremacy. Anytime you go into a church, that's fucking white supremacy, man.
Yeah,
You know?
the angels are so-called white.
Everything's white.
The prophets are
Everything
white.
is white.
The Sistine
man.
Chapel.
Yeah, everything
Yeah.
is fucking white. God is white.
Yeah.
Adam is white. Oh, the devil getting Michael beating his ass.
Oh, he's black.
Is a so-called black man. So I mean, but Jake doesn't see that, man. So you know what I got? You know, my thoughts towards Jake is, you know,
Just forget
I don't
him.
think too highly of him. You know.
Well, they're sheep.
Yeah, well, they're retarded shit.
Yeah, we're talking
And they're
about.
suffering from amnesia. Now look up the word amnesia.
We're
Look
talking
up the
about that
word
earlier.
amnesia.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. Sheep ain't the most smartest animals, man. You look at the nature of a sheep, that ain't a smart animal.
Well, they're docile. They're docile. That really means ready to learn.
Oh.
Jake is gone, man. You know, we're only out here to wake up. The elect, the Most High already got the elect already chosen. But we're out here. The Most High is just using. He uses the foolishness of preaching.
Yep.
You know, this is the way he wants to do it. You know.
Yeah. He could do it any way he
He can
wants.
do it any way he wants. Yep. There's
Yeah.
a song. Do it any way
Yeah.
you want
Oh,
to
yeah.
do it. Yep.
Do it any way you
Yep,
want.
that's right. And that's the Most High. He does it any way he wants.
Does
He
it
does
any
it
way he
east,
wants.
north, south, and west.
Yeah.
He's doing what he gets ready to do it.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
The definition of amnesia: a partial or total loss of memory.
That's Jake. That's why Jake can't see it. So you try to tell Jake, and they'll buck up and they'll, well, wait a minute, my philosophy and this, you know, this is my thing.
Right.
And if you add this to that, you gotta hope that guy walk down the street, man.
Can't.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta hope that man walk down the motherfucking street.
It's a waste of
Because
time.
it's a waste of time. Now, maybe he might come around. Maybe he might think about it. Maybe he might have a dream. Maybe the Most High might terrorize him in his dream.
Yeah.
You know? And I know one thing, Kobe didn't get it.
Nah.
But Kobe watched the videos.
There
If
you
he
go.
didn't watch our videos, he watched other videos, man.
Yep.
Everybody on the planet knows about the Israelites.
Oh yeah.
I got
you know?
a scripture.
It's 2020.
It's 2020.
Got
2020,
scripture.
baby.
Scripture
Year
to-
of prophecy.
That's
Come.
right. Scripture to back up amnesia. Jeremiah 17:4.
Well, I put a whole list. I should have took a picture of it. I put a whole list together of
Scriptures.
the scriptures dealing with amnesia because I was going to do a
yeah.
topic on it, you know?
I'll check that out. Well, I'm sure this one was in there. Jeremiah 17:4. And thou even thyself shall discontinue from thine heritage.
Well, it wasn't in there, but that was a good one. I should have put it in there.
Con.
One of the scriptures I remember putting up in there is Jude. So
Oh, yeah,
after you
Jude.
read that, go to Jude
Con.
and go right to the point.
Yes.
Go right to the point, you know?
Jeremiah 17:4. And thou even thyself shall discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies. And I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not. For ye have kindled a fire in mine anger, which shall burn forever. Now, the book of Jude.
Can I read this one real
Yeah,
quick?
you got it.
Begin
Yeah,
it?
yeah, you
This is the book of Jeremiah 6:16. Thus saith the Lord, stand ye in the way and ways and see, and ask for the old paths, where is the good way, and walk therein, and you shall find rest for your souls. But they said, we will not walk therein.
Yeah, that's what Jacob is saying. We will not walk therein.
Jude 1 and 5. I will therefore put you in
Any more precepts you got on that, on this particular subject? Go ahead.
Jude 1 and 5. I will therefore put you in remembrance, though you once knew this, how that the Lord, having saved the people out of the land of Egypt, afterward destroyed them that believe not.
Yeah, so when did he do that? That's Paul spoke about that in First Corinthians 10 and 1. So get that right quick. And the remembrance, though you once knew this, is talking about what? Reincarnation.
1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 1. Moreover, brethren, I would not that ye should be ignorant how that all our fathers were under the cloud, and all passed through the sea, and were all baptized unto Moses in the cloud and in the sea, and did all eat the same spiritual meat, and did all drink the same spiritual drink, but they drank of that spiritual rock that followed them, and that rock was Yahweh Shai.
That was the rock. So the rock was always there. The water that Moses broke, that was Yahweh Shai. That water represents truth. The truth.
Running water too.
That's it. Go ahead.
Verse 5. But with many of them, the Most High was not well pleased.
Yeah, but so back then the Most High brought all Israel out, and then he destroyed them. He destroyed every last one of them, except for Joshua and Caleb. Then you got forecasts saying Caleb is an Edomite. Caleb ain't no Edomite, man. Caleb represents Judah. How in the hell can the Edomites sneak in there? That's why, you know what? That's why nobody takes that dude seriously, man.
I mean, there was no qualified Judites to be in a part of that.
No, the Edomite just snuck up in there, man.
Like what's his name on the boat on the ark?
All this mess
Over
over.
a cracker, yeah. On that with that movie, what was that movie with Russell Crowe? When what's his name? Tubal Cain snuck on the ark.
Yeah. Well, I said that bullshit. That bullshit, man. The Most High said eight persons were going to be saved, not 9.
Right. And they had rocks building the ark. Rocks
We
cried
saw
out
that,
to them.
and we all got together to see that movie, Noah's Ark.
God.
Thinking that, you know,
It's gonna be some good, yeah.
serious movie.
bullshit.
Well, it was us and Edward Clark.
Yeah.
Fucking pissed the fuck
Yeah,
off.
we were pissed
Then we
off.
started laughing at the fucking movie, man.
Yeah, man. It was a fucking comedy.
It was a joke. It was a joke. But actual people that saw it, oh wow, I didn't know. Yeah, rocks built. No, rocks didn't do that, man, because it's not in the scripture.
Noah and his family built the ark. Not no goddamn rocks.
And no one is sons, huh?
Yeah.
We're talking about what was that? Lamech, was it? Or Methuselah? He kept asking for berries.
Oh yeah.
Berries? What is that in the scripture, man?
Oh yeah, he's walking by like in the cartoon, the Bugs Bunny cartoon. They had the what was his name? Pardon me. Do you have
Wimpy. Yeah.
Well, not Wimpy. Damn, Humphrey Bogart.
Oh, okay.
In the Bugs Bunny
Oh,
cartoon.
yeah.
Could you spare?
Check that out.
He's just walking by, you know.
Check that out.
You got a guy who played the cartoon.
Yeah. No, I remember that. Yeah. But people don't know. You know, the people in America, man, are fucking stupid, man.
Real
It's just
stupid.
they don't understand what's going on, man. And that's why they can't accept us. They can't accept us because what we tell them is totally opposite antithesis to what what they teach, man. Because Esau, ain't no Edomite gonna come out and agree that the Most High is a dark-skinned man with woolly hair. Ain't no Edomite gonna agree with that, man.
Nope. Don't help white supremacy.
Huh?
I got a quick precept for you, Apostle.
Like the white supremacists, so-called, they say that Adam means red because it's the blood. He's flushed in the face. First of all, that word there is not red. The word there is Adama, which means brown.
Right.
Not Adawam, which sounds similar.
Right.
Adawam means red.
Right.
Adam was not red. Adam's name was not red. It was brown.
Brown. Yeah.
I got a precept on that.
Get
Go
it
ahead.
right.
Let's see.
Get it right.
Get it right, devil.
This is Isaiah, the 29th chapter, and the whole chapter is pretty bad. Let's see here. I'm looking for surely the turning of things upside
15
down.
is it?
To be
15.
esteemed as part
Right.
of his place.
15. 16.
I'll start at, you know what? I'll start at 14. Isaiah 29 verse 14. It says, "Therefore, behold, I will proceed to do a marvelous work among this people, even a marvelous work and a wonder. For the wisdom of their wise men shall perish, and the understanding of their prudent men shall be hid. Woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord, and their work are in the dark, and they say, who seeth us and who knoweth us?"
Now read that again. And somebody hold Psalm 64 and also Psalm 110. Read that again.
Isaiah 29 verse 15.
The Illuminati is all about hiding the truth.
Yep.
They're not going to come out and say, give you the truth. And we, the men of the Lord, we have brought out the truth for years. So now now it's being brought out. So now they're trying to cut YouTube and cut that. They don't want the truth to come out.
that was their power. Secrecy.
Secrecy is their power.
But now
right?
their tongue.
Yeah,
I
but,
should call it
the cat is out the bag, so to speak.
Right.
You know, Pandora's box is open.
Open, right? It says, "Woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord, and their work are
And their
in the,
counsel is what they're doing. Their secret, their plans of the Georgia Guidestone
Right.
and all that.
Agenda 21.
Their Agenda 21 and so forth. Their thing is to hide that from the Most High, but the Most High sees everything. Go ahead.
woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord, and their works are in the dark. And they say, Who seeth us?"
Well, the Most High sees you.
Right.
Go ahead.
And
the scripture said, "Shall he that create the eye, shall he not see?"
Right.
If the Most High create the eye, he ain't gonna see.
exactly.
You got it.
It says that the Lord dwells in darkness,
Thick darkness.
but everything around him he sees as light. Everything is
Yeah,
he sees everything.
he is light.
He is the light, right? It says, "And who knoweth us? Surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. For shall the work say of him that made it, he made me not? Or shall the thing that or shall the thing framed say of him that framed it, he had no understanding?"
Yeah, frame is when you build a house. You put a frame up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you put a foundation, then you put a frame, and they're saying, "Oh, I'm here. I got here by myself."
Yeah.
You know.
I brought that up because you said Esau, the white supremacists, they'll say that Adam means, red. Or
Yeah.
in other words, they flip it.
Yeah, they flip.
They
yeah.
flip it and mess it up so that it fits them.
Spiritually flip things around.
Yep.
All right, go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 45, verse 9. Woe unto him that striveth with his maker. Let the potsherd strive with the potsherd of the earth. Shall the clay say to him that fashioned it, What makest thou? Or thy work? He had no hands.
Romans 9.
Yeah, well, that's what Esau is saying. Now go to give me Romans 9.
Yeah,
Go right to the point.
I'm going there right now. Yeah.
I got a precept too.
And like I said, hold on to Psalm 64 and Psalms 10.
Okay,
Go ahead.
I got to start at the 17th verse. It says, this is Romans 9 and verse 17. "For the scripture saith unto Pharaoh, even for this same purpose have I raised thee up, that I might show my power in thee, and that my name might be declared throughout all the earth. Therefore hath he mercy on whom he will have mercy, and whom he will he hardeneth.
So he hardened Esau just like he hardened Pharaoh. Go ahead.
Thou wilt say then unto me, Why doth he yet find fault?"
Yeah, so you got people coming up talking about well, no, the Most High didn't mean it. He came for everybody, you know? He came for everybody. Go ahead.
For who hath resisted his will?
Well, Esau is being wicked because the Most High made him to be wicked. That's why you're doing these devilish things that you're doing, man. Because the Most High made you to be the devil.
Con.
You wouldn't be doing a very good job if you was doing righteousness.
right.
Most High didn't set up a man to be this man to be righteous, right?
That's right.
You're supposed to be wicked. You're supposed to be the damn devil. Go ahead.
Nay, but O man, who art thou that repliest against the Most High?
Yeah, they trying to. That's why Esau and his religion and his laws, he allows you to be a mo in this society, man.
Yeah.
You can be a mo and a pastor. You know, you can be a one pastor. Everything about this man is
Wickedness.
contrary to the Most High.
Backward.
wicked.
Yeah.
Past the
But
most.
that's what you're supposed to do. You don't gotta get mad and feel bad about what you're doing. You're doing what the hell you're supposed to do. Just go ahead and be the devil.
Past the most.
Yeah?
I got a quick precept.
Go ahead.
Proverbs 29:2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn.
Yeah, I was watching earlier this morning. I was watching videos on the homeless in Seattle. Something to the effect Seattle's gone, some shit. And man, it was mostly Edomites, man. Them Edomites, there was Jake out there too, but Esau, Esau don't even give a damn about Esau, man.
Yeah.
I mean, they're doing. And there was this one Edomite. He was screaming and yelling at the wind, looking all bugged out. Then they showed another Edomite bugged out. Then they showed an Edomite woman bugged out. You know, then they started showing Jacob in there, man. The government don't give a damn about it, man.
Yeah.
Apostle, I got an
Yeah,
article here.
they got a lot of videos on van life.
Yeah, I was watching it. Yep,
Van life.
Yep,
You brothers ever seen those videos? Esau living in that van, man. They take the van and turn it into a home on wheels. Some of those are nice looking though, real nice, real luxurious, you know.
Yeah. Cheaper.
And then you can, cheap. They don't have to
Yeah,
pay
Esau
rent.
not waiting for the government, man.
Yeah.
They doing what they got to do, man.
They're making moves.
They're making moves, man.
A lot of them are preppers.
Yeah,
They
preppers,
know
yeah,
that
preppers, yeah,
they
yeah,
know
yeah.
that what the government is doing is fucked up.
Well, they don't
So-
know that America is going to be a sacrifice.
Well, yeah, they don't know
It's
that.
the sacrifice of
Yeah,
Gaza.
that's right.
And then they got in the van life, videos, they got campgrounds they can drive to. They can park there. They can stay there for a week.
Yeah.
You know.
Move around. Yep.
Yeah.
I got an article here. It's from ZeroHedge.com. It says the U.S. cities with the most homeless people. It says over 500,000 Americans are currently homeless. After a period of progress and decline, Statistics Neil McCarthy notes that the U.S. homeless population has increased slightly by 3% according to a report from the Department of Housing and Urban Development. It now stands at 567,715,
Probably more than that. Probably more than that. Go ahead.
with 63% of that total living in sheltered accommodation. The national increase is primarily due to a leap in homelessness in California,
Yeah,
where
when the righteous are in authority, people
Yeah.
rejoice. When the people bear fruit, when the wicked bear fruit, the people mourn. Hey, so who's in power? Who's in power?
the devil's.
The devil's in power, man. How do we know that? It's because of the poverty.
Yeah.
You know, the people mourning.
The Lord has a law of the gleaning of the grapes,
But that's-
where
that's it.
or
Which
the
is basically a
gleaning.
welfare system,
Yeah,
yeah.
welfare
Yeah.
system. But and then they'll kind of be homeless, but and then after a while they got a chance to kind of make do good for
Build
themselves.
themselves back up.
Yeah.
Well, there's a law under Hebrew being under another Hebrew as a servant, because Jacob was a servant under Laban, the Syrian, for about 14 years, and he worked for his substance and he worked for his two daughters. And when you after that 7 years, you leave with great substance. So he left with double substance, but he supplanted Laban. You know.
Sure did.
Yeah, because Laban kind of pulled a
Well,
fast one on him.
you can supplant. You can supplant people. As long as you supplant them.
Laban did him dirty, and he did Laban dirty back.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly. Yeah.
Laban
Use the
noticed-
custom. Yeah,
Yeah, you
use
know
the
the-
custom.
Yep.
Right.
I wonder how old them girls were.
That's how, yeah.
Just throwing it out there. Yeah.
Told you the most I don't deal with exact numbers, man.
You ain't gonna work 14 years for some old ass hoes, man.
You ain't gonna work. No, you ain't gonna work. You ain't gonna work
Well,
14 years
plus,
for a 57-year-old.
What is it? 14 years plus he worked
You know?
another 7.
These niggas out here, been, like I said, you niggas been in America,
Been in America too long.
You've been in America too goddamn long, man.
How you gonna put an old tire on your fucking car?
Brother, if I invite you to my house for some dinner,
And you sit down.
and I give you some grasshoppers, man, you won't curse me out. And
Yeah.
I'm gonna say what I do wrong. So what the fuck you give me these goddamn grasshoppers and crickets for, man?
It's lawful.
I know the
That's
Beatles.
because that's what we eat tonight.
Habanero mango
But
sauce.
you're gonna get offended. You're gonna get offended because they don't do that in America.
Right.
You know?
With some sriracha sauce on the side.
I had a little more.
Now me myself, hey, you invite me to your house and you give me grasshoppers, man, and locusts. I'm not gonna eat them because I'm not accustomed to eating
Not
them,
accustomed
Right.
to eat. Yeah.
You know? Now
But-
in the kingdom, the Most High will give me a spirit to eat. You
Yeah,
know?
con.
I read this thing where they said they could
So
do
habanero mango duck
the
sauce.
fried locust, and when you snap into one, it's like a potato chip.
Like a Slim
Like
Jim.
a Slim Jim.
Yeah, but it's just it's snap. You hear a snap.
You fry them up and eat them. You know. Put some hot sauce.
See how much they snap.
I got a little bit more in Romans 9.
Watch it jiggle. See it wick.
You guys are crazy.
This is Romans. This is Romans 9 and 20. It says, "Nay, but O man, who art thou?"
I was thinking about half baked.
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
He said the car where it was pot knocking in my mouth.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that was a moving. No.
Okay. Was it?
No, it wasn't moving. Yeah, what's that? Paul Provenza, he said that. He said, "There's some good grits, Mr. Johnson." He said, "Those are Rice Krispies, Byron." Yeah, I can feel them snap, crackling, pop locking in my.
Yeah.
He was trying to act like a
Yeah,
chick.
but that's how a grasshopper and locust is supposed to taste like. You know?
Con. Yeah, that was the Italian
Well,
dude.
them Hamites over there in certain African areas, they said there's swarms of locusts so big that they're
got
big as
that.
a city.
I got that article.
So all they got to do is, catch them and eat them.
Yeah.
That's food right there, you know?
Fry him up.
See here, I got the article. Pretty much.
Go ahead, Ak.
This is Proverbs chapter 29, verse 16. When the wicked are multiplied, transgression increases,
Yep.
but the righteous shall see their fall.
Yep. And normally you go from there to First Maccabees. First Maccabees, it tells you, go to that. First Maccabees 1 and 7.
I got some real quick,
Go
Pastor. Psalms 12 and 8. The wicked walk on every side when the vilest men are exalted.
That's right. So the wicked are here. They're in the power seat. They're getting ready to lose their power seat. Go ahead.
Sirach 10 and 3. An unwise king destroyed his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited.
That's it. Go ahead.
This is First Maccabees 1 and 7. So Alexander reigned 12 years and then died, and his servants bare rule every one in his place. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves. So did their sons after them many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth.
Yeah, when they came into power, evils were multiplied. In the earth. That's why when the beast came out of the pit, evils were multiplied in the earth. And what was the first thing that they do? Deceive the world.
Save the world. I got a precept.
That's why them Latin American Israelites are all fucked up in their head, man. What 98% of them is Roman Catholic, man.
Oh yeah. And their economies are since the IMF went up in there. Their economies are all fucked
Don't
up.
mention the IMF.
Yeah, the economy.
Don't mention that. Don't mention the IMF.
They sold out.
Don't mention them. Go ahead.
I got a precept. Proverbs 28:12. When righteous men do rejoice, there is great glory. But when the wicked rise, a man is hidden.
Man hides. He hides himself. You know.
Verse.
And that's why they're gonna push that mark of the beast, which is the microchip, so they can tax everybody. In other words, if you're a carpenter, you can do side jobs. If you're a mechanic, you can do a side job and make a little extra money, right? But if you're gonna do it with the transaction of the blockchain, which is the microchip, then it has to come out of your account into his account. So they have an account on that. So they're gonna take their
Right
they're
the
gonna
rip.
take it right off the top, man.
Con.
You got a parking ticket that you didn't pay for. Guess what? They're gonna take it right off the top.
Yep.
Odd Jobs. That's the name of the movie. What you quoting?
Okay.
Odd
okay,
Jobs.
okay,
Yeah,
all right.
with the comedian Paul
Okay,
Provenza.
all right.
Yeah.
All right, this is 28th verse, Proverbs 28:28. When the wicked rise, men hide themselves, but when they perish, the righteous increase.
The righteous increase. So in the kingdom of heaven, what does it tell you in Isaiah? What is that? Isaiah 60? Go to that.
Con. A
A
little.
little one. Yep. Go ahead, read it.
Isaiah chapter 60, verse 21. Thy people also shall be all righteous. They shall inhabit the land forever. The branch of my planting, the work of my hands, that I may be glorified. A little one shall become 1,000, and a small one a strong nation.
So what is that talking about? That's talking about you're gonna have thousands and thousands of children.
Yeah.
And so we're gonna have so many children that we're gonna bring forth a nation. A nation is nothing but a big mass of people, man. Each tribe is also known as a nation.
Right.
You know? So how are you gonna do that with one woman?
Yeah, right.
Let's say, I just want to have one woman.
Yeah.
Man, that woman, you're gonna wear her ass out.
Yeah.
Every time she turn around, she's gonna be what? Barefoot and pregnant.
Barefoot and pregnant.
So that means right there, you're gonna have many women. You're gonna have thousands of women, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna have thousands of women.
Yeah, because if one man impregnates 1,000 women, by next year there'll be 1,000 children or more.
Or more, 1,000 or more, 1,000 or more.
Because some of them
You
can
got
have
twins, you know,
twins.
twins, triplets,
Yep.
and all that.
Lion can make
And
up.
then Jake likes to have sex. You're gonna have old 47-year-old divorcees as your wife. You know, I said that so I don't want to offend nobody. You know, you're gonna have 47, 50-year-old divorcees and widows. That's what you're gonna fucking have. No, you're gonna have young women, man. Like I said, you clowns been in America too fucking long,
Yeah,
man.
that's what it is,
That
man.
Western mentality.
Yeah, man.
That's
You
that Western mentality.
catering
man.
to fucking
You
Esau,
know
man.
what your problem is?
Fucking
When you
wake
went to
up.
fucking elementary school, in the school system, you were listening to them. I wasn't listening to them teachers, man.
Neither, yeah.
I was always being sent
Rebellious,
to the principal office. I was a rebellious one, man. There was one guy, Ephraimite, man. I forget this dude's name, but we were like the worst two. The teacher said, he said, you're the worst two people in this class. And we used to play hooky, we used to do all kinds
Oh,
of
yeah,
shit.
yeah.
I was just a rebel, man. I was just a rebel. I just did what the fuck I wanted to do, man.
A rebel with a cause.
Yep. And if I got a beating, I got a beating. I went back to school. I said, this is fucking bullshit, man. Fucking bullshit, man.
Like the scene in Goodfellas. By that time,
Yeah,
everybody
yeah.
takes a beat.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Yep. And one teacher told me, he said, he stopped the class. He said, why don't you just quit school? Why don't you just, you know? Yeah.
School is
I gotta-
bullshit.
I said, this is bullshit, man.
Bullshit.
I said, when I used to come to school, I said, this is fucking bullshit, man. And
Indoctrination.
it makes you think like you're going to be a bum. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah, there's several motherfuckers that did bad in school that's doing good now, man.
Yeah.
Was it J.P. Morgan had what?
Third grade
Third grade
Yeah.
education.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Apostle, I got a precept.
Go ahead.
This is Judges, the 8th
You
chapter.
can't listen to fucking Esau, man.
No,
Yeah,
no.
he's an idiot. Well, Job, our forefather Job, called them children of fools,
The
basement.
basement.
So how smart are they? Bunch of dummies.
They're faking the funk, you know?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
This is the book of Judges, the 8th chapter, the 30th verse. And Gideon had 70 sons. So that's 70 sons of his body begotten, for he had many wives.
He had many wives.
That was the only way he was able to have that many
He
children.
had many wives, yep.
And in comparison to the kingdom, that's nothing.
Yep.
It said if a small one shall become 1,000,
Yeah.
he only had 70.
And a woman is just your servant,
Yeah,
man.
that's it.
You know, there ain't no such thing as, oh, this is my main babe, this is my
Right.
main shit stain. My main, you know, come on, man. It's just another woman, you know?
Look, man, you're going to have sex every day.
Yeah.
You're going to have, what
Yeah.
am I talking about? You're going to have
Main
sex
squeeze.
several times a day, man. You're going to have different women and concubines. You're going to have babies with your concubines. You're going
Variety.
to be having a lot of sex, man. You're going to be popping a lot of different women.
Yeah.
Variety.
You might pop
Twice a
10
week.
women that day. Next day, you might want to pop, you and like in Officer and the Gentleman.
Oh, yeah.
When this guy was, what's his name?
Richard-
Lou Gossett.
Lou Gossett,
He was a drill sergeant,
Yep.
and he was putting mayonnaise to a PT physical training. He
Con.
said that, and he used that song
Yeah.
about this guy. He swore up and down, he'll fuck everyone. It was 99 holes lined up or whatever.
Yeah.
And then he said he got down to 98. And then he said he backed off, jacked off, and fucked the other one. that means that man was full of power, man.
Yeah, God.
So he lined up 90, I think it was 99 women or something like that, and popped all of them. So
Right.
guess what? In the kingdom of heaven, we're gonna be doing that same thing.
Line them
You're
up.
gonna be popping you pop one of your wives in the morning, you pop a concubine over here, you're gonna pop another concubine,
For brunch.
you're gonna pop another wife, all right?
That's the
Oh,
heart.
remember? Salaki.
Salaki.
Go ahead. You got it, brother. You got
Sure.
it. Yeah.
No, I just wanted to bring out the point that
Because we're gonna be potent.
Yeah,
Potent.
very virile.
Very
Virile, right?
Yeah.
potent, man.
Yeah, virile.
Very spirited.
Yep.
yeah, like Yahweh Shai is known as the Lion of Judah, but we're also lions.
We're
So
lions.
I typed in how many times a day does a lion mate.
Times a day.
Yep, 50.
It says a male lion can mate up to 100 times a day.
Okay,
look at
that's the line, yeah.
In a process,
line on
50 to
Viagra.
100. 50 to 100.
Remember in the book Nature Knows No Color Line, you had the cartoon of the Moor and he was feeling up on that white woman's titties, and he was behind her. And the caption says four times a day.
times a day.
I think I got it.
You know, they don't have
Four
to tell you
times
what
a
the
day.
yeah.
You know, yeah, they ain't talking
And
about.
that's when Jacob was in power and Esau was a nobody.
You're right.
Yeah,
And Esau felt, he got up and said, damn, I think I can take these niggas out. You know what I'm saying? You know,
he was feeling froggy.
I was feeling foggy, man, because the Most High put the spirit on him. Man.
Yeah. It was a time. It was prophecy.
It was his turn. The Most High raised him up.
That's the only reason why
To be
Esau.
the devil who he is, man.
That's right. Hey,
But now he's going down, man.
that's it.
And wait a
going
minute.
down.
In the picture too, in the cartoon, the brother looked older, and the woman he was feeling on, she looked younger.
Hey,
Yeah,
And they had another picture of a boy standing by a fine ass woman with a fat ass.
Big ass.
She was curled up.
Yep.
You know?
I don't
Yeah.
got that book today.
Let a woman get naked in front of me in my house, man.
On like popcorn.
I'm gonna do something to her.
song like
real.
Donkey Kong.
You know? But Esau doesn't like that.
No.
We're gonna lock you up for 70 years.
Yeah.
for
Something's
looking
wrong with
at a
that.
woman's titties.
Something's wrong with that.
She was offended. That's why, hey, Esau, man,
We get you.
we're gonna stomp you like the pink cockroach that you are.
Con.
The albino pink
Yeah.
Pinche cockroach.
pink
that you are.
cockroach. Man,
Yeah, and he knows he's a piece of shit.
he knows he's a fucking piece of shit.
Hey, you
but
had
he's
them-
done. The motherfucker's done,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, cut.
He's done.
Esau set up it was a group that they go out throughout the nations to fuck up their economy. I forgot. Economic
Economic
hitman.
Economic hitman.
So come on, man. The other nations weren't into all. I mean, if they are into that, it's because they're following Esau. But the one who really did that shit was Esau.
The wicked.
They're wicked. And then they put the country in debt, which turns them
That's
into
the IMF.
yeah,
We don't talk
slaves.
about the IMF.
Yeah.
I got a quick precept.
Esau
Micah,
did that shit, man.
Micah 2:1-2. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds.
Good scripture.
Come. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand.
Now that word power there, looked it up in the Hebrew,
Right.
is Allah, which is God. So they're in a
They're
godlike.
in a godlike position. huh?
God,
They're
God.
in a godlike position.
Yeah,
huh?
that's why he said, "I will be like the
I
Most
would
High."
be like the Most High.
they
And
got the power.
somebody give me Job 24, and you can start at the top. Pretty much the whole chapter's dynamite, as Jacob would say. Go ahead.
Could I read one
Go
more
ahead,
verse?
go ahead, go
It's
ahead.
still here, brother. Second verse. And they covered fields, goes back to what he was talking about. And they covered fields and take them by violence.
Covet means to want. Somebody has something.
that
If you
talking
wanted
about?
somebody's woman, you covet the woman first.
Yeah.
Oh, I like it. I like this. Well, that's what David did. He
Right.
coveted
Bathsheba.
And took her.
And took her from
Uriah?
This guy, Uriah the Hittite, which, by the way, was the Israelite.
Israelite. Come.
He was living in one of the lands of Canaan. Go ahead.
And they covered fields and take them by
Because
violence,
they have the power to do it. Go ahead.
and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage.
Yeah, they took our heritage, man. We can't, hey, they're getting on us because we're calling ourselves Israelites, which we're telling the truth.
That's it. That's it on that.
Go ahead, give me what I asked for, Job 24.
Job 24:1. Why? Seeing times are not hidden from the Almighty. Do they that know him not see his ways? Some remove the landmarks. They violently take away flocks and feed thereof.
Same thing
So
Micah
now let's
said.
stop right there. Let's stop it right there. Read that again, please.
Verse 2. Some remove the landmarks. They violently take away flocks and feed thereof.
So what Esau did was, his land was Mount Seir.
Yeah.
And he left out of that land and he went to this land, that land, and he finally got over here to the other side of the world. And he just took it. He just took it.
Took it.
Go ahead.
They drive away the ass of the fatherless. They take the widow's ox for a pledge.
Yeah, if your husband died, what they do is they'll come and they know that you're vulnerable because you don't got your husband with you, you know, or you have young sons, and they'll say, look, we're gonna take this, you know, for whatever reason.
Quick precept for you.
Go ahead.
The law, Deuteronomy 19:14. Thou shalt not remove thy neighbor's landmark, which they have of old time have set in thine inheritance, which thou shalt inherit in the land that the Lord thy power giveth thee to possess it.
Yeah, because that land in Israel, you don't. That's not your land, and that's why that land's going to be sacrificed too, by fire. Go
Got a
ahead.
quick
That's
precept.
it.
Go ahead.
Habakkuk 2 and 9. Woe to him that coveteth an evil covetousness to his house, that he may set his nest on high, that he may be delivered from the power of evil.
And that's what that what's this guy that got that program? You got those ships going up into space.
Richard Branson.
Richard Elon Musk and Richard Branson.
Right.
What they're talking about, the reason why they go so curious about space is because they know that this place is going to be destroyed.
Right.
So they're going up into they're going to set up a living satellite, or they want to go to Mars, which they're not going to do. You know what scripture I want you to go to? Was it Amos 9 and 2?
Oh yeah.
Got it.
Can I get one more
Because
verse?
Esau has a plan to escape.
Yeah.
He has a thing called game theory. If this happened, what do you do? If that happens, what do you do? Somebody look that up, game theory.
Game theory.
Look that up right quick.
Can I read this last verse?
Go ahead.
Apostle? This is verse 10. Thou hast consulted shame to thy house by cutting off many people, and hast sinned against thy soul.
And have sinned against thy soul.
You want the one to name us now?
No, give me game theory.
The game, right? Game.
Game theory.
Game theory.
G-A-M-E, right?
G-A-M-E.
So, game theory. Game theory is a study of the ways in which interacting choices of economic agents produce outcomes with respect to
It's not just economic. Like in war, you have a thing called war games. You have these scenarios. If you're going to fight in the desert, you out there training in the freaking desert, and you're dealing with these scenarios where you have scrimmages. You know, football. You know,
Yep.
getting ready for the big game. You know,
It's
So-
like
so war
rehearsals.
yeah, that's exactly what
Yeah.
it is. Game theory is you rehearse. Well, what if this happened? Well, what if we stop the trucks? What if we cause a strike? A strike comes and no trucks come into the city to get, to restock the shelves, which they do tell you that the shelves only have 3 days worth of stock
Yep.
on the shelves at any given time. So if a truck strike is called and the trucks don't come in for a week, that's what. And then they know it's going to happen.
Yeah.
That 3 days, people are going to buy triple shit.
Yep.
Yep.
You know, and then there's no. Then they're gonna hit everything. They're gonna go to the next door neighbor. They're gonna take his shit. That's
Second
second
Ezra.
Ezra, the 15th chapter.
Well,
Man.
Pastor, we experienced that during Hurricane Sandy. I went.
Oh no, I remember that.
Yeah,
I remember we couldn't get. There was long
gas.
lines.
No, I remember
Yep,
that.
yep,
But
yep.
I went into Super Stop and Shop out there in Fairfield, Tungsten Hill. We go there. We frequent there a lot around that area. When I walked in, there was no meats, no nothing. But there was meat. It was rotted meat. And when you walked in, it was like dead. Like motherfuckers just died in there because they just left the dead meat because you can't buy that because it's contaminated with bacteria and shit. And it was it was exactly about, I'll say probably 4 to 5 days after. And it was nothing. There was nothing in there.
That's why sometimes you go to the
First thing they go is water.
Yep.
Water, yep. Water.
That's why sometimes you go to the
Baby
supermarket
foods.
and they'll say, there's a limit to what you could buy. Only 3 of this, or 2 of these.
But that's what caused the fights in there.
Yep,
People
yep.
start stabbing motherfuckers, man.
Well, the movie you brought it out, Pastor, Contagion, when they were running out of the
Yeah, they said 50 more
Panic.
applications to the virus. And then they started panicking. Man.
Yeah, they panicked.
And then the military guy said to this guy,
Matt Damon.
I think it was a Lawrence Fishburne character. He said, there's going to be a run on the bank.
God.
And see, Jake doesn't understand these terminologies, man.
No, they
We
don't.
do a lot of studying. We read the scriptures and we read things, alternative
Media.
Media.
and we get all these. And Esau, the only one that's really up on game is Esau, man.
Esau, yeah.
The preppers of Esau.
Yep.
They do videos on it, they got a certain amount of food in their basement.
Yep.
They got this, they got the guns, they're ready, man.
Yep.
And Esau, the one nation that's against the nation, the government the most is Esau, man.
Yeah.
That's Isaiah. Isaiah
Down there
19.
in Virginia, they had that thing. They were going to take the guns, and the people that came down there and protested, they were all Edomite. I ain't see it. Maybe I saw one Jacob in there. the 99.9% of them was all Esau, man. And they had their guns out, saying, "Look, we ain't Esau's going to be the main one that's going to come against the government."
Be the main opponent.
Precept for you. Luke 16 and 8.
Esau, one thing about Esau, he's not a dummy.
No, they're not stupid.
And Esau himself wasn't no dummy.
Right.
That's one thing about Esau. He wasn't no dummy, man.
Well,
Now, Jake is a jackass.
yeah, Jake is.
They're going to get caught out there.
Jake is a
Earlier we were
homeboy.
talking about van life. You got a lot of these crackers, they turn their vehicles into homes.
Yeah.
So they say, fuck it, you know. Luke 16 and 8, and the Lord commanded the unjust to it because he had done wisely. For the children of this world are in their generation wiser than the children of light.
Yeah, because well, who mostly? If you go to YouTube and you put in the Mark of the Beast, microchip or whatever, the videos that are gonna pop up outside of what we teach is Esau. Man.
Esau, yeah.
Esau come out and say that, man.
Yeah.
Even this guy Christopher Green of AMTV, he said something in a recent video. Now, I did the video on it. He said, in the next thing, they're going to give everybody the mark of the beast.
Mm.
Then now he's teaching, you got to serve Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I said,
I got a precept.
Well,
Pastor.
we talk about this guy too. He's a Jake though, Luke Radowski.
yeah, Luke,
His channel is very informative.
Yeah.
You ever watch his channel? Pastor Tar mentions him.
Yeah.
And we met him before. He came down to 34th and 7th.
After 9/11, right?
33rd.
Or something like that.
Huh?
Wasn't around that time.
It was around that. It was around when we first was on YouTube.
Okay.
We put on. It was like 2007.
Yeah, I remember that time.
That's when Alex Jones was out here.
Yeah,
City or whatever.
he kept on pronouncing parallel wrong.
Yeah.
He said parallel.
Parallel. Yeah,
I got a
parallel.
precept. This is Isaiah 19, verse 2. It says, "And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every one against his brother." Well, this is a direct link to 2 Ezra 15.
Where you reading from?
This is Isaiah, the 19th chapter, and the 2nd verse. "And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every one against his brother." Talking about these Edomites, because America is spiritually known as Egypt. So the new Egyptians are the Edomites, and they're going to fight against one another. It says, and every one against his brother, every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. Which that ties in with the 10 kings that shall hate the whore ultimately and burn her with fire.
Well, speaking of that, I did a video on Brexit. Brexit is it prophetic?
Prophetic, yep.
And that happened 11 o'clock England time p.m. on January 31st. A half an hour before February 1st, 2020. And that was Daniel the second chapter.
I got a quick precept for you. Luke 11 and 17. But he knowing their thoughts said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and a house divided against a house falleth. If Satan also be divided against himself, how shall his kingdom stand?
Yeah, you got the Democrats versus the Republicans, man. And then this guy, Trump, the first speech he made as president, he said he's gonna bring everybody together, and everybody's like, "Are you out of your fucking mind, man? Are you out your fucking mind?" Go ahead.
That's it.
I got a precept. This is 2 Ezra 15, verse 10. Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter.
You know what? Start at the top. We're gonna read through that.
2 Ezra 15, verse 1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people.
Oh, let's break it down. Speak down in the ears of my people, the Israelites.
Yep.
Starting with the elect. So that's what we're doing. This is the vehicle the medium that we use, the YouTube. Go ahead.
Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy.
You're not supposed to be,
That's it.
teaching all kind of other wayward shit. The main thing
Yep.
that you're supposed to be getting into is what?
Prophecy.
Man.
That's the spirit of the Lord.
Yep.
Which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord.
Oh, the Lord put it in our mouth.
Yeah. So, but he will only put it in the mouth of his men,
His elect.
his elect, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Fear not the imaginations against thee, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee.
The incredulity apostasy means the unbelief of them, the Israelites. Go ahead. That trouble thee. Go ahead.
that trouble thee, that speak against thee.
And that's the scoffers and everybody that say, well, I'm this and I'm a Baptist. And
Yeah.
if the white man can't make it, well, guess what? You ain't going to make it, you know? Yeah. Look, we're not going to have a sit down and a debate and discussion about nothing, man.
Yeah.
Nope.
We are the teachers. How can you teach the professor?
That's it.
You know?
Also, Trump, when he makes statements like the prophets of doom,
Yeah.
he's showing incredulity.
Right.
Calling us the prophets of doom means he's showing his incredulity. He don't believe.
Yeah. Or when a dude says GMS does not exist, or words like that, you know.
Oh yeah, that guy.
That guy.
That's it.
Well, that's your mind. That's good.
That's
Yeah,
it.
that's your own.
Let it continue tonight.
Come, that's
Should
right.
it be according to thy mind?
Second Ezra 15:4. It says, "For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness."
Unbelievers. Now let's deal with the unbelievers, the unfaithful. Everybody that came into this truth and turned their back against the plow,
Yep.
to the plow, and look at
And look at
Look
back.
at back.
all right, and look at back.
Yeah.
Everyone that believes in Kemet or Baptist or Methodist, whatever they believe in, atheists. You know, I just believe in child of the universe.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm a Jehovah's Witness. You know,
Yep.
I believe in education. You know,
In the community.
so we're not dealing with you type. We're not dealing with y'all. We ain't dealing with y'all. Go ahead, Ak.
This is 2 Thessalonians chapter 3, verse 1. Finally, brethren, pray for us that the word of the Lord may have free course and be glorified, even as it is with you, and that we may be delivered from unreasonable and wicked men.
That's it.
Right. In other words,
For all men have not faith.
For all men have not
stop
faith.
for the time being.
So we're not going to bend over backwards and try to make you get it, man.
Right. Accommodate
on the
niggas.
video.
We're accommodating you.
Okay.
Clown, man. We're only dealing with the ones that hear this music and dance to the music, pursuant to Matthew 11 chapter, man. And the Most High is only dealing with the elect. Go ahead, Ak.
Revelation chapter 22, verse 11. He that is unjust, let him be unjust still. And he which is filthy, let him be filthy still. And he that is righteous, let him be righteous still. And he that is holy, let him be holy still.
Yeah, so that's the separation. Now get me 1 Corinthians 14. He that is ignorant, round about the. Go ahead.
1 Corinthians 14 and 38. I'm going to start at verse 37. If any man think himself to be a prophet or spiritual, let him acknowledge that the things that I write unto you are the commandments of the Lord.
Which is the whole book. Go ahead.
Whole book. Yeah.
But if any man be ignorant, let him be ignorant.
That's plain and to the point. Anybody that don't know, let them continue to not know.
Yeah.
We're going to move on, man. We are going to move on.
Yeah. Like if you can't see that Revelation 13:16 is the chip, well, wallow in your ignorance.
Pretty much.
You know. Oh, also if a woman, being a woman at the age of 12, 13, when she received her flower of her age, according to what the Apostle Paul said, then wallow in your ignorance. Because you got guys say, no, a woman ain't a woman at that age. When is she a woman then?
Well, in the kingdom, it's going to be different, you know? Now, I'll say this. I'll say, no, I wouldn't deal with no young woman like that.
Right.
You know?
Done.
I'm not dealing with any woman, period. But my woman, my wife. Because we're doing this work, man.
We in this
We're
work.
gonna get them 1,000 women in the kingdom, man.
Right.
In that
And they're all
day,
going to be virgins, you know?
Con.
But right now, what we do is we defend the gospel. That's what the gospel says.
That's our job, man.
Our job is to defend the gospel.
Any guy that has 4 and 5 different women. Now, if he's doing the work, then that's you know
Special.
that's a special dude.
Okay,
you
yeah.
know? But if you got 4 or 5 women that you really into, man, you ain't gonna really be pushing this work like you. Well, that's in 1 Corinthians 7
Yep,
chapter.
I was
Go
going
to
right
the
there.
point.
Yeah,
come.
7 and 29.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1 Corinthians 7 and 29. Come on, man. This thing is just
Hey, because at the end of the day, we've been doing this work, man. We've been out here. We've been out here every weekend. We do the sit downs.
For years.
got it.
Trenches.
1 Corinthians 7 and 29. It says, but this I say, brethren, the time is short. It remaineth that both they that have wives be as though they had none.
Yep.
and they that weep as though they wept not, and they that rejoice as though they rejoice not, and they that buy as though they possess not, and they that use this world as not abusing it. For the fashion of this world passeth away. But I would have you without carefulness, he that is unmarried care for the things that belong to the Lord, how we may please the Lord. But he that is married careth for the things that are of the world, how he may please his wife.
That's it. Your priority is to see your wife. You know?
So,
Go ahead.
this is Matthew 15, verse 13. But he answered and said, every plant which my heavenly Father have not planted shall be rooted up. Let them alone. They be blind leaders of the blind, and if the blind lead the blind, both shall fall into the ditch.
Were you reading from again?
Matthew 15.
All right, go ahead. All right, now go from there to Matthew 13 and 12. Matthew 13, verse 12 and 13.
All right, this is Matthew chapter 13, verse 12. For whosoever hath, to him shall be given, and he shall have more abundance. But whosoever have not, from him shall be taken away even that he hath.
So you got guys that come into the truth and then they slack off. What does the Most High do? He pulls the spirit from them. And then he's out there and all he can do is become a scoffer or just go back into the world, man. You know? Go ahead.
Verse 13, therefore speak I to them in parables, because they seeing not, and hearing they hear not, neither do they understand.
Yeah, they don't understand this book. They don't understand the scriptures. They don't understand that America is nothing but an altar. You know?
Yeah, that's
It's
right.
nothing but an altar.
That's it.
The
Great
Most High
sacrifice.
got the men of the Lord on the altar teaching,
Yeah.
and then he's gonna take us up, you know,
Yeah.
and he's gonna fire this place up, you know.
Come.
I got precept. This is first.
In that scripture,
That's scripture.
in that scripture.
This is First Thessalonians.
So when somebody said, "Well, if you don't like this country, you can get the hell," I said, "No, it has nothing to do with whether we like the country or not. This country is nothing but an altar.
It's an altar.
You know what I'm saying? It's nothing but an altar that's going to be sacrificed.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
I can't stress that enough.
Yeah, right.
I got a precept, Isaiah 19:19. In that day shall there be an altar to the Lord in the midst of the land of
Where you
Egypt.
reading from? Where you
Isaiah
reading
19 and 19.
from? Go ahead.
In that day shall there be an altar to the Lord in the midst of the land of Egypt.
Egypt is America, and
We're
the
the
altar
altar.
is America. Anytime we go out here and teach,
We're the
and
altar.
and I always think of Ezekiel 37. Matter of fact, we're gonna have to go to that because the Most High raised us up in the dry bones. I mean, the valley of dry bones. So that's the altar.
Right.
That's the altar, man.
And like you
We
said
raised
earlier.
up. We became teachers,
Yep.
and we're teaching on the altar, and then we're gonna be taken away, and this altar is gonna be sacrificed.
Right.
Yeah, like you said earlier, the priests are found around the altar.
That's it.
Yeah.
And then the animals are going to be sacrificed on the altar.
Well, they're animals.
Esau and the other nations.
Represent Esau and the other nations.
Come.
Yeah, they're animals.
I got a precept. If I
Go
may.
ahead.
This is Ezekiel 39, verse 17. And thou, son of man, thus saith the Lord power, speak unto every feathered fowl, and to every beast of the field. Assemble yourselves and come, gather yourselves on every side to my
You
sacrifice.
know what this is all about?
I really don't. And I was
You,
really
you might
curious.
want to keep walking. This is just material that we speak, and you might get offended. You may get offended, brother, because this is about America being an altar. And you know what happens to an altar, right? The Most High burns it, right? So this place is going to be burnt. There's
Sacrifices take
going to
place
be a
on.
third world war.
I agree.
Good. Well, good. Good.
There
You
you
said
go.
the right
May I
thing.
join in?
You can listen.
Yeah,
You can
that's what I
listen.
meant. Can I
Yeah,
listen?
yeah, you can listen.
Ezekiel 39, 17. And thou, son of man, thus saith the Lord power. Speak,
All right, man. All right, brother.
speak unto every feathered fowl.
Well, he is my brother.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
that's right.
First you say you're not my brother, now you.
that's my brother. That's my brother right there, man. Well, he said that when I said America, he looked me straight in the eye, man. He said, I agree with that. You know, and that's why his father said, let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
So his father was, now they could be Jakes.
Yeah.
Could be.
We don't know. You know?
He ain't heavy. He's my brother.
Hey, cause when I told him, I said you're gonna be offended. He said, let me hear it, man.
Can I join in?
Great, he wanted to hear it, man. So hey, he can be one. He can be one of us.
And plus in
And
Isaiah,
you can't go by what
Person looks like an ounce.
Mafia said.
Yeah.
If he looks white, he's white.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why that motherfucker is spiritual world right now.
pushing up daisies.
You don't know what a man is.
That's right.
You know.
The Lord said
You
he's
don't know if that man, he might look like
scandalous.
a Edomite or a cracker, but he could be an Israelite.
Right.
Yeah,
But
Or
then,
there could be a Jake that look like an Israelite and be an Edomite.
yeah.
Yeah.
But they'll look at somebody that's dark skinned and say they're automatically a Jake because they're dark skinned.
right.
Precept for you. 1 Samuel 16:7. But the Lord said unto Samuel, look not on his countenance or on the height of his stature, because I have refused him. For the Lord seeth not as man seeth. For man looketh on the outward appearance, but the Lord looketh on the heart.
Lord, look
Spirit.
in the heart. Yep.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring this out dealing with the
All right,
altar.
and then after you, bring out your precept.
This is and thou son of man, thus saith the Lord power, speak unto every feathered fowl and to every beast of the field, assemble yourselves and come, gather yourselves on every side to my sacrifice,
Woo!
that I do sacrifice for you
On the altar
on
of
the altar,
America.
yeah. Even a great sacrifice upon the mountains of Israel, that ye may eat flesh and drink blood.
Them birds, man, they gonna eat.
Yeah,
gonna get
because
drunk.
Where you reading from?
this is Ezekiel 39, and that
Will
was
somebody go to what's that? Revelation 20.
20, yeah,
Go right
21.
to the great white throne judgment.
Con.
Go ahead.
yeah, okay, verse 18. Oh, sorry, I gotta go by. You got that?
No.
Okay, so like it says, verse 18, ye shall eat the flesh of the mighty and drink the blood of the princes of the earth,
And that's not literal. Go ahead.
of rams, of lambs, and of goats, and of
That's
bullocks,
talking about people. Go ahead.
all of them fatlings of Bashan. And ye shall eat fat till ye be full, and drink blood till ye be drunken of my sacrifice, which I have sacrificed for you.
That's them birds. They're gonna get busy, man.
Yep, the bird. There was a movie back in the day called The Birds. It says, thus ye shall be filled at my table with horses and
It
chariots.
is talking about us. We're gonna eat. We're gonna eat them.
Con,
We're gonna
con.
take. It's parabolic.
Con.
Right, right.
We're gonna take everything that they got.
Con.
You know?
Con.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Revelation 19:17. And I saw an angel standing in the sun, and he cried with a loud voice, saying to all the fowls that fly in the midst of heaven, come and gather yourselves together unto the supper of the great power.
Were you at Revelation 19:19?
19 beginning at 17.
Start at 10.
Revelation 19:10. It says, and I fell at his feet to worship him, and he said unto me, see thou do it not, for I am thy fellow servant and of thy brethren that have the testimony of
And so the
Yahushua.
angels are our brother. They just happen to be in the spiritual realm, and we're in the physical realm. Go ahead.
Of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahushua. Worship Yahweh, for the testimony of Yahushua is the spirit of prophecy. And I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True, and in righteousness he doth judge and make war. His,
Go ahead. That's
his
your house shy, and it's not an actual horse. That's why you got a lot of people that claim they know the scripture. They'll read it and say, well, the Lord is going to come back on a horse. But wait a minute. If the Lord's going to come back on a horse, a white horse, why did it say in Acts, or is that Acts the first chapter, is you're going to come back in a cloud? All right?
yeah. Ezra saw the chariot he was in. It looked like a mountain.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Revelation 19.
Horse just represents power.
Come. Revelation 19:12. His eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns. And he had a name written that no
Many
man,
crowns, meaning he's going to take down many nations. Go ahead.
and he had a name written that no man knew but he himself. And he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood, and his name is called the Word of the Heavenly Father. And the armies which were in heaven followed him upon white horses, clothed in fine linen, white and clean. And out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with it he should smite the nations. And
Hold
he
up, when the Lord come back, he's coming back to smite the nation.
Yep.
He's coming back to kill. When have you ever heard that in a Baptist sermon, man?
you don't hear
That
that.
when the Lord come back, he's gonna smite the nations.
You don't hear
He's
that.
gonna kill the nations.
And he shall rule them with a rod of iron.
I thought the Lord's coming down in peace and in love. He said he's gonna rule them with a rod of iron. That
And he-
means he's gonna beat them down.
Yeah, beat them up. Yep. Beat them up and down. He shall rule them with a rod of iron, and he treadeth the winepress of the fierceness and wrath of the almighty power.
Oh, now you gotta go to now in Isaiah.
I got it. 66.
Oh no, Isaiah 63.
Okay.
Isaiah chapter 63, verse 1. Who is this that
You can
cometh?
also go to Isaiah 66. Go ahead.
It says, who is this that cometh from Edom with thy garments from
Now
Basra?
you might get somebody that said, well, he's an Edomite. He's coming to say an Edomite. No, it means he's coming
To destroy.
geographically
Right.
from where Edom is, which is below Jerusalem. Right.
Sure.
So he's going to be in that area,
Yeah.
that vicinity, proximity, whatever you want to call it. Go ahead.
With thy garments from Basra.
That sacrifice.
This that is right, that is glorious.
And
is
why did it say
apparel.
Edom and all that? Because he's going to destroy Edom.
Right.
Now, Edom is in the Middle East, but Edom is also here in America. This is the land of Edom.
Right.
This is Edom's land.
The land was named after the people.
That's it. This is the land of the Edomites.
Come.
They call their land after their name. The secret name for this place is the land of Edom.
Yeah. Yeah, because
You know goddamn America.
yeah,
Fucking Edom, man.
the America means bitter.
Not just eat them, fucking eat them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it means bitter, and that's what Esau is. Wherever he goes,
Yeah.
he brings bitterness with him.
Yeah.
'Cause
What's that scripture?
He's the wicked.
He exalteth his borders as hell. To
Yeah,
such
yeah.
extent.
He enlargeth his
Enlarged.
desire as
His
hell.
That's
Daughter.
Habakkuk 2.
Haven't gotten
Bitterness.
it yet.
And
Yes.
bitterness.
Go ahead. You know it.
It says, this that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to say, wherefore art thou red in thine apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine fat.
The Lord's not gonna. His garments are not gonna be stained with blood. It's parabolic.
Right.
That's right. It's a dark saying.
Meaning he's gonna do so. He's gonna do so much killing.
Killing.
Yeah.
You know.
I got a precept, quick precept.
Poetically, it's like he jumped out. You know, I'm gonna
Right.
stain my garments.
Exactly.
He ain't gonna stain his garments. It's poetic,
Come.
prophetic, parabolic,
Quick
symbolic.
That's right. Quick precept for you.
Go ahead.
Isaiah 66:15. For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many.
And like Pastor, like they said, they're gonna do a shoe shine on somebody. Don't mean he gonna shine his shoes. He gonna tune them up. You know.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
We're gonna do a paint job on him.
I got
Yeah.
a precept following up Pastor
You know
Bar.
what a paint job is in boxing?
No, I mean I
Paint
heard.
job is when you just sit and nigga at will. Pop, 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 pop. That's a paint job.
Damn.
Yeah, kind of like what what's his name did to the Nigerian boxer, did to watch the fight recently, and Joshua.
Anthony Josh.
Anthony
yeah,
Joshua.
He did the paint job.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, because he was popping them at will.
Paint job.
Yeah.
Paint job.
Popping them at will. That sounds kind
Yeah.
of.
No,
Like Floyd fighting
Lord.
Carnelo, he did a paint job.
Come.
This is Ezekiel 39, verse 21. And I will set my glory among the heathen, and all the heathen shall see my judgment that I have executed, and my hand that I have laid upon them. So the house of Israel shall know that I am the Lord their power from that day and forward. And the heathen shall know that the house of Israel went into captivity for their iniquity, because they trespassed against me. Therefore hid I my face from them, and gave them into the hand of their enemies. So,
Salaki, brother, but let me read this again. I can come back in. Isaiah 19:19 again. In that day shall there be an altar to the Lord in the midst of the land of Egypt, and a pillar at the border thereof of the Lord, and it shall be for a sign and for a witness unto the Lord of hosts in the land of Egypt, for they shall cry unto the Lord because of the oppressors,
That's
and
us.
he,
Esau. That
That's
person.
us.
God.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
crying to the Lord.
right.
Crying to the Lord.
and he shall send them a savior and a great one, and he shall deliver them.
That's how it shot.
Yeah, because the heathen, Esau and the heathen thought they conquered Israel through their own might. And it wasn't that. The Lord said, look, no, I did this because they offended me.
Right.
And I gave you power. And that's why he said that, you know, the potter, I mean, the pot of clay can't talk shit and say, why you made me like this knowing that you were going to destroy me. The Lord could do that.
Right.
One vessel unto honor and the other unto dishonor, and that's Esau, man.
Okay.
And he can't change it. And that's why Esau right now he's upset, man.
God, I
You
got
know?
a quick precept. Isaiah 42:24. Who gave Jacob for a spoil and Israel to the robbers? Did not the Lord, he against whom we have sinned? For they would not walk in his ways, neither were they obedient unto his law. Therefore he hath poured upon him the fury of his anger and the strength of battle, and it hath set him on fire round about. Yet he knew not, and it burned him, yet he laid it not to heart.
Quick precept. Zechariah 1:14 and 15.
Somebody hold Ezekiel 37. Say we can get
I'm already in Ezekiel, so I can.
Go ahead.
So the angel that communed with me said unto me, Cry thou, saying, Thus saith the Lord of hosts, I am jealous for Jerusalem and for Zion with a great jealousy. And I am very sore displeased with the heathen that are at ease. For I was but a little displeased, and they helped forward the affliction.
You want to stop all the way at the top?
Yeah, yeah.
Ezekiel 37, verse 1. The hand of the Lord was upon me, and carried me out in the spirit of the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and set me down in the midst of the valley, which was full of bones.
So he was jetted in the spirit to America, in the dead state that we were in. From the time that we came over here, you had the Latin tribe, so-called Latin tribe, then you had Jake being brought over here by way of the western coast of Africa, and not knowing who we were. You know, because Esau beat it out of us. When we was over here in Africa, we knew we was Israelites. So Esau beat it out of us.
John.
Go ahead.
Verse 2. And caused me to pass by them round about, and behold, there were very many in the open valley, and lo, they were very dry. And he said unto me, Son of man, can these bones live?
What does it mean by the bones being very dry? Meaning there was the marrow was there. Marrow has moisture in it.
Right.
They were dry. They were dead. They've been dead for a long time. Where there's no hope of bringing that back together.
Right, like when a body dies and the bones are dried up, there's
up.
nothing. Yeah.
And he said unto me, Son of man, can these bones live? And I answered, O Lord Most High, thou knowest. Again he said unto me, prophesy upon these bones, and say,
How did we wake up to the fact that we were Israelites? Because you had certain men before us go out there and prophesy, man. And the real awakening, the real calling was during the time of YouTube, man. Because when we came on the scene and we went on YouTube, that's when this thing became global. Inside of a year. 2008, 2007 we came out, July 2007 we came out. 2008 we were global, man.
Yeah. Somebody even said GMS has gone global.
Ideala said
Yeah.
that. GMS is going global.
Yeah, that guy.
Go ahead.
This is the book of Job, chapter 10, verse 10. Salakia.
Go ahead.
This is Jeremiah chapter 3, verse 15. And I will give you pastors according to mine heart, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding.
Go ahead.
This is Job chapter 10, verse 11. Thou hast clothed me with skin and flesh, and hast fenced me with bones and sinews.
Yeah, that's our identity.
Yep. That's right.
Ezekiel 37, verse 4. Again he said unto me, prophesy.
You know what? Go to Job. I believe it's in the same chapter, Job 10. I believe it's the 20th or the 21st verse. Read the 20th verse.
Okay. This is the book of Job, chapter 10, verse 20. It says, Are not my days few?
Yeah, that's it. Go ahead.
Cease then, and let me alone, that I may take comfort a little.
Go ahead.
Before I go whence I shall not return, even to the land of darkness, and the shadow of death.
This is the land of darkness and the shadow of death.
Con.
He was really talking about actual death.
Right.
But it's really talking about America.
Right.
Yeah.
Read that part again. 21.
Job chapter 10 verse 21. Before I go whence I shall not return, even to the land of darkness
This is the land of darkness.
Right.
Go ahead.
and the shadow of
And the
death.
shadow of death. Go ahead.
A land of darkness as darkness itself, and of the shadow of death without any order, and where the light
Woo.
is as darkness.
Without any order.
And where the
Damn.
what is?
Damn.
And where the light is as darkness.
There's a light, which is the truth.
Light is as
It's
darkness. Yeah.
You know?
I think Habakkuk says,
Oh.
wherefore the law is slack.
Yep.
So to the extent, that's America.
Habakkuk 1 and 4. I got a quick precept. Job 19 and
You can
25.
also go to Psalm 23. 'Cause I think that's King David's Psalm King David, and he speaks about America in there. He calls about the shadow of the valley of the shadow of death.
Psalms 23.
And that's the Deuteronomy 28. Would to the Most High that it be morning, would to the Most High be evening.
Yeah.
Because you don't know if you're going to make it from day to day.
Right.
Go ahead.
Quick precept. Job 19, 25 and 26. For I know that my Redeemer liveth, and that he shall stand at the latter day upon the earth. And though after my skin worms destroy this body, yet in my flesh shall I see the heavenly Father, whom I shall see for myself, and mine eyes shall behold, and not another, though my reins be consumed within me. So Job knew he would be here
Yeah.
in
That's
the future.
reincarnation.
That's reincarnation.
Or regeneration or resurrection.
And he knew he would see Yahushua coming through the clouds, and he knows that's
Job could be here among us.
yeah, and he knows that that's his Redeemer.
Right.
He said it all right there.
This doesn't look. This doesn't apply to Esau
Hell no.
because Esau can't break the scriptures down right, man. Esau's not breaking the scriptures down right. He's breaking it down the way he want to break them down.
Yeah, and like we tell you, brothers, man, don't take this lightly. The fact that we can break down interpret these scriptures.
Should be open.
You know how many Israelites can't do that, man? And the Lord, all those Israelites, the Lord looked down and took you. That's a high calling, man.
High
That ain't
honor.
nothing to oh yeah, so what? So what? The Lord called me, so what?
It said of David, of Daniel. If I'm not mistaken, I believe it's Daniel 10 or Daniel 9, where it says that I believe it's Daniel 10 where he went on the fast.
Oh yeah.
And the angel and the Lord came and said that you were well beloved.
Oh, the
That
man
we heard
beloved,
you-
yeah.
That you were well beloved.
Con.
You know? So Daniel was well beloved. So we got to be well beloved of the Most High too, because we're doing this work right here, man.
I got a quick precept for you, Apostle. Jeremiah 5 and 5. Jeremiah 5
Now you
and
got the scoffers, right? They're gonna come on talking shit. Now from the time we've been on this feed right here, what did we say that was wrong? They don't say what you want. No, you this, that. They tell you that bullshit.
Yep.
But all we've been doing is bringing out scriptures.
Yep.
Man.
And
That's all we've
prophecy.
been doing. Yep, Jeremiah 5, 4 and 5. Therefore I said, surely these are poor, they are foolish, for they know not the way of the Lord, nor the judgment of their power. I will get me unto the great men, and will speak unto them, for they have known the way of the Lord, and the judgment of their power. But these have altogether broken the yoke and burst the bonds. You know what the yoke and the bonds is, right? Esau's bullshit, man. We're able to see through it through these scriptures. Hey, because before I came in the truth, man, I didn't know any, you know.
Before any of us came into the truth, man, we didn't know what the hell was going on.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Isaiah 58, I'm gonna start at verse 11. And the Lord shall guide thee continually, and satisfy thy soul in drought, and make fat thy bones, and thou shalt be like a watered garden, and like a spring of water whose waters fail not. And they that shall be of thee shall build the old waste places. Thou shalt raise up the foundation.
All waste places.
Yep.
Now somebody got to hold Amos 9 and 12.
Come.
Go ahead.
Thou shalt raise up the foundations of many generations, and thou shalt be called the repairer of the breach, the restorer of the past to dwell in.
Now, how could we take that lightly, man? That's talking about us, beginning with Yahushua, of course.
That's why pursuant to Daniel the 12th chapter, it says that
Scriptures get you amped.
they're gonna have their they're gonna have their head down, man, and head down in shame.
Word.
These Israelites, you know.
I got a quick precept.
Go ahead.
This is John 8:31 and verse 32.
And these scriptures, they're supposed to excite you, man. They're supposed to, you feel them potluck in your foot.
Oh, yeah. And when I saw that thing on the news about the Brexit, that it became official, they had a referendum. A referendum is when you have a people's vote, not the Senate. You have the people's vote. There's a big, if there's 1,000 people part of this gathering, you have a referendum. People vote. So if it's anything, 51% to 49%, the 51% won. So the referendum in England for them to break off from the EU, well, I believe it was 51%.
Yeah, because
there was a lot, almost half was against that.
Wow.
But we should stay with the union. But guess what? That wouldn't happen because prophecy suggests that it had to be fulfilled.
Yeah, because
And they don't even know why. Because they're talking about, well, we broke off this, that, and the other. I showed you that in the video. The Edomite, I don't feel bad about it, but we broke off the economic thing. None of them said, well, this is in the scriptures, because they don't fucking know.
Right, they don't know.
That's right.
Esau don't fucking know.
You don't know.
Yeah.
Well, that's the topic. Esau don't fucking know.
Yeah.
That's the
That's
topic.
right.
This is John 8 verse 31. It
And, that,
says,
and if I may say, that all adds up to those toes being weakened.
Yep.
Clay and iron and clay, and
Spirits changes.
it's all there, man.
I'm gonna get
Partly weak,
Revelation.
Partly
strong.
weak, partly
Matter
strong.
of fact, let's get to that.
Yeah, I'm gonna get Revelation.
Switch gears and go to Daniel 2 verse, what is that? Start the 40th verse.
It ain't talking about what Nate was talking about. Race wars and race riots.
Daniel
got it,
2
brother.
and 40.
You got it.
He actually said that?
Yeah.
No, he's talking about the economic union breaking up.
Yeah.
You know?
Daniel 2 and 40. And the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron, for as much as iron breaketh in pieces and subdue all things, and as iron that breaketh all these,
Now we know that that's talking about the ancient pagan Roman Empire. Go ahead.
shall it break in pieces and bruise. And whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided. But there shall be in it of the strength of the iron, for as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with miry clay. And as the toes of the feet were a part of iron, were part of iron and part of clay, so the kingdom shall be partially strong and partially broken.
And that's why England wanted to get out, man.
Right.
That's right.
Because I kept saying, because the economic reasons, man.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, because you got some nations that can pull that weight, like Germany. You got
Well,
some,
Germany,
Switzerland.
Britain, and you got some nations
Switzerland, you said Switzerland, yep.
that are basically the bums of the group.
Yep.
Right.
Was it Italy?
Italy,
Portugal.
Greece, Portugal,
They're the liabilities.
They're the liability.
Spain.
Greece.
Go ahead.
Verse 43, and whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men.
Well, you got Israelites all mingled in them European nations, and then you got those people coming from other countries, from
Arabs.
Africa and the Arabs. They're coming up in there, and they can't get together because their customs is to grab a young girl and rape her.
Right.
Their thing is to rape them. That goes back to the scriptures.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and they can't understand that.
Yeah.
Well, that's a different culture.
Right.
That's
Right.
the ancient culture.
Yeah.
And
In the ancient culture,
Yeah.
you had a woman and you said, okay, this daughter of mine is gonna marry my friend's son.
Right.
And she might have not liked the boy. But
Yeah.
look, they already made the arrangements. You have no
it.
choice in the matter. See, that's the ancient world.
Right.
Now you live in the fucking modern world, man.
Right.
That's why your fucking daughters are all fucked up, man.
Yeah.
Oh, like this guy, what's the guy with the bald head from the Kings of Comedy? This
Harvey?
Steve Harvey.
You hear about his daughter?
I heard something.
His daughter, she's the biggest slut out there, man.
Whoa,
Man.
look at that.
She just, Steve Harvey, right? Yeah, she be getting in car accidents, and her father got to bail her out.
Yeah.
Then she be dealing with one nigga, then she jump on
Yeah.
another nigga.
Yeah.
I mean, she look good. She
Yeah.
do look good.
Right.
But she a straight up.
She's
a straight up
loose.
hoe, man.
She's loose.
But loose ain't the word, man.
Hey,
Yeah.
but Lord,
But you know what that's from?
Yeah.
Because you're in this society, man.
Right.
Yep.
In the ancient world, among the Arabs, if a daughter disgraced the family, they kill her.
She'd be put to death.
That goes back to the
Yeah.
scriptures, man.
Well, you know,
you can disgrace your
you got
father, man.
Yeah, that's right.
like Vashti when she didn't come to the king, and all the councilmen came to her and said, "Look, you gotta do something about this, because if our women get a hold of this, they're gonna rebel. All these women gonna rebel."
she smacked him, right?
Well, no, that was after May.
Oh, slack.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
You know,
I was gonna say Lawrence Fishburne's daughter is a straight up porn star, man. And he's ashamed.
But
and
there's
she's-
nothing you can do about it.
Yep. He
And
can't
he's
do nothing.
ashamed of it. He's ashamed of it.
He's ashamed of it. Yep.
Why is he ashamed of it, man?
Hey, but she's out
First
there.
of all, why should he be ashamed? He's
Yeah.
from Hollywood.
Yeah.
He should expect that shit,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, he's
Oh, you
deep,
got this guy,
deep rooted.
Dwayne Wade. He got a son.
Oh, yeah.
The son got he dressed up like a woman. He's young.
Oh.
And then the fucking Dwayne Wade. Well, I
Oh,
have
yeah,
no problem
yeah.
with that.
My
Nigga, you know you
girls.
got a problem with
Hell
that
yeah.
He
shit.
cries at night.
He said, "My girls."
Man, but now
He said my girl.
you got this guy Magic Johnson's son.
Yeah.
And Magic Johnson's son
yeah.
is as big as his fucking father.
Yeah, he's a
and
big
he's
flamer.
a big flamer, man.
Yeah, he's a big flamer.
Big
But then
flames.
he was on CNN,
Yeah.
and he said he was with his stupid ass wife. He said, "I have no problem with that." Yeah, you got to say that, nigga, because
Yeah.
you in that world.
Exactly.
You in that world,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. He'll
Hey,
lose
look,
all-
if Kobe had a son and Kobe's son was a faggot, Kobe wouldn't have no problem with
Yep.
his son being a faggot, man.
Yep.
Because you in that world, man.
Exactly.
And Mossad really didn't like Kobe, man. All he had was daughters. That's a curse. You know, one son, man. Not one little bambino. Just nothing but bambina, man.
And he
Nothing
knew
but
he
girls.
was an Israelite. He probably
Yeah.
was talking shit about,
Talking shit,
about,
yeah.
about us, man.
Yeah.
And the
Well,
Most High
yeah.
took his black ass out.
Mossad didn't like him, man.
Yo, they said that he was burned beyond recognition. The only way they were able to figure out that was him was through fingerprints. Somehow, some way they, some charcoal.
And
or
they
some-
couldn't even find his daughter.
Yeah.
They were all fucked up, man. They were all burnt up.
Damn.
Great, it was a sacrifice.
It was a sacrifice.
Sacrifice.
Definitely was.
Even Luca Brasi in the movie Godfather, when he congratulated the Don, he said, "May your first child
Be a
be a
masculine
masculine child." Why? Because it carries on the legacy, carries on, you know.
the name.
Nothing wrong with having a daughter, but you gotta have a little, you know. You gotta
Oh,
have a
now
son
in the
too.
law,
Yeah.
okay, for you simps out there, simple as Israelites. Now, Kobe, according to the law, if we were under scriptural law, Kobe Bryant's wife would have to marry who? Kobe Bryant's
His brother.
brother.
Now, how many of you brothers in Israel do that?
Right.
One guy, he's a high priest or whatever, he dies, and here you got a brother.
Yeah.
That woman is an Israelite. She got to get with the brother.
She gotta get
You
one.
got to get with the brother
To keep the family line
You got to
going.
keep the line going, man.
Yep.
But they don't
Jake
understand
do
that.
shit. Jake
Yeah.
don't do that shit.
But yet they'll pop another. Another Jake's woman, wife. Like Jake is just fucked up, man. Yeah, they'll commit adultery, but something that was right, that's righteous in the scriptures, they're against.
Even the father.
Yeah.
Because remember, what's his name? Judah promised Tamar. Was it
Okay,
Tamar?
yeah.
For the first
Tamar,
son,
yeah.
And he got killed, right?
And the Most High killed him
Yeah.
because he spilled the seed on the ground.
So
Alright?
yeah, so she played the whore and laid down with Judah.
That's
She
it.
played the whore and laid down.
Supplanted.
Whoa.
She supplanted
no,
him.
was it the first? The first son died, I believe.
Right.
Then
Then
the
the-
second son didn't want to have the
Right.
name,
That's
so
it.
he
got
the
killed.
seed on the ground,
And he
Most High
got killed.
Yep.
Just a-
Killed him,
And then the third son.
and then I think it was the father. I think it was
The
Con-
father,
con-
the father
cause-
laid with her,
the father laid with
but
him.
she
Con-
played the
She played
harlot.
she played the harlot.
She played the harlot.
She
Right.
played the harlot.
She supplanted him.
She
She
supplanted
supplanted
him.
Yeah.
because she knew
Con-
she knew what was
con-
going on, man.
She
This
knew
guy
the
didn't
law.
wanna,
Yeah.
pop me. And then when the father, I believe, got her pregnant, that was in the name of his son.
Yeah.
But
Keep
he
the
didn't
line
want to
going.
do that.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, wait a minute. Certain guys have a problem with that because you know the father was older and the,
Oh, yeah.
and the daughter was younger,
Younger,
right?
yeah.
So certain guys would have certain guys have a problem with that.
Hold it now. And she wasn't having sex because they told him that she was playing a harlot because she was pregnant.
Like we always say, you guys don't understand what you're involved in, man. But you quick
back
to wear.
there was no big deal about dealing with a harlot.
Con.
It wasn't no. Let me
Sneak around, yeah.
Tiptoeing.
Come here, baby. Hop in this car. Come on. We're gonna turn around the corner. Hop in this car.
Yeah, cut.
Nah, you went and did it. You wanted to have a harlot.
Yeah.
You get with a harlot.
Yeah.
Because when you read that story, he came back looking for her.
Right.
Because he gave his signet, which is his
Right.
ring,
Right.
his staff.
And
Because that was his signature. That's where you get the word signature. So he made a deal. Look, I'm gonna give you sheep, and then this is my signet. This is my credit, man.
yeah,
So
because
so when he came back, she wasn't around, and then what he started doing, he started asking the men around. He said there was a harlot around.
right.
Yep.
You be all. No, there was a harlot.
Yeah, there
Right.
was yeah.
Where that hoe at?
Where that
It was
hoe at?
natural. It was normal.
You wasn't ashamed of that
Right,
shit, man.
And everybody's like, there was no harlot around.
There
here.
was no harlot, yep. And then what happened? He said he gonna burn her. I'm gonna burn her.
Right.
Why? Because she played the harlot.
Right.
But then he found out that she had to supplant him, and he said, "Thou art
More righteous than I."
righteous
More righteous
than I."
than- yeah.
You know,
Because his third son was too young for her to marry.
that's what it was.
That's
Yep,
what happened.
that's what it was.
So when he came of age, he didn't give her to her.
Yep.
You know, so that's why she set him up.
Yep, she
you know?
set him up, and she said, and I got to give it to her. Give her a hand.
Yeah.
She
was all right.
Customs, man.
Con.
She was the Lord's.
That's right.
That's right.
Appropriately.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Con.
Yep, sure did.
Apostle, I got a precept, and it goes back to these.
So she got her child anyway.
She got a child, but it was all set up in the
Con.
spirit of the spirit of the Most High anyway.
That's right.
For her to have the child that way.
Con.
You know. Oh, let's deal with the thing with what's his name? Absalom's daughter. Which the scripture say it was David's daughter. It was actually David's granddaughter. What's her name? Tamar.
Tamar, yep.
Tamar.
Yeah, Tamar.
And there was a brother of Absalom that raped.
Amnon.
Was
Yeah,
it
Amnon.
Amnon?
Yeah, I believe his
Amnon.
name
Right,
is
right.
Amnon,
Yeah.
That raped, forced sex on her.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And she said, no, don't do it. This is not so.
Right,
Right.
Well, first of all, she wasn't no scholar in law.
right.
Right.
There was nothing wrong with that, man.
Right.
There was nothing wrong with that.
Hey,
But then after that thing, what happened? She fell in love with the guy, which was her brother, which was her uncle.
Uncle, yeah.
Which was her uncle. But then he didn't want to have nothing to do with her, man. You
Because
know?
at the pot, they despised
After
her.
a pot, that's Jake right there.
Yeah, yeah.
Jake do that shit, man.
Yep.
You know?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 7.
Oh, and the word there when he took her by force, the word there is Aina, which means rape.
Forced on. Yep.
You know? And then Absalom killed his brother because of what he did to his daughter, because he got emotional.
Yeah.
He got emotional. He killed him, you know? But then David forgave him because David was weak to Absalom. Everybody loved Absalom because Absalom was perfect.
Yeah,
It
it's
said
perfect.
in the scripture he had no blemish.
No
Can you
blemish.
imagine the perfect Negro?
Yeah.
This nigga's perfect. You know, he's like
Yeah.
perfect Negro.
Yeah.
And when he sweat, his skin looked like a candy bar.
Yeah.
And that's what Richard Pryor said.
Be on the GQ magazine.
I mean, that nigga, he'll be on GQ for the next 10 years.
Oh yeah.
He was perfect. They said there was no blemish to that dude.
Damn.
So
Yeah.
everybody loved him, man, including his father. But
Yeah,
he
yeah.
had to be had to be taken out.
Yeah,
you know?
Joab took him out.
Yep. Go ahead. Yeah, Ariab took him out.
Oh, yeah. Threw 3 darts through his
That
heart.
was Yeshaya. That was Absalom was Yeshaya.
Con.
Yeah, we always said that.
Go ahead, Ari.
Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 7. Remember the days of old, consider the years of many generations. Ask thy father, and he will show thee, thy elders, and they will tell thee.
Yeah, the days of old, not this so-called modern day kingdom. We got certain Israelites still trapped, you know, like R. Kelly was trapped in
You've
the
been in
closet.
America too goddamn fucking long.
Yeah, they trapped in the
people
American.
People get all emotional about R. Kelly.
Yeah,
Biblically, so what? What do you do?
He didn't
Yeah.
do nothing
What
wrong.
the hell do you do?
yeah,
What's this
exactly.
guy Epstein or whatever his name?
Yeah.
The guy that's going to court. What did he do wrong? He really didn't do nothing wrong, man. As long as you didn't commit adultery.
Right.
But you've been in America too fucking long, man.
Like that guy we've been talking in question, he said, no, a young man got to be with a young woman.
Where's that in the
Where the
scripture?
hell is
Nowhere
that in the scriptures?
Nowhere in the scripture, man.
And we brought out the fact that Joseph was much older than
Now the
Mary.
scriptures say this. The Apostle Paul said it. He said, "What are you talking about? The laws? How do you frame it? All laws are
all things are
all things are lawful,
lawful,
but all
but
things
not
are not
expedient.
expedient.
There you go.
Yeah.
Right, it's not. It's law.
Right.
Whether it's lawful or not, you
Right.
judge it whether it's lawful or not.
Right.
But there's certain things that are not expedient.
Right,
Man.
right.
You know, dealing with a young woman
Exactly.
in this world, emotions get. You know,
Yeah.
Get in the way.
oh, the the law in Deuteronomy, I believe it's Deuteronomy 20:22. You can get it if you
Yeah.
if you know what it is. Where
Yeah.
the child, the man child that's lazy,
Oh,
stubborn. I'm stubborn.
I think that's a 20. Is that Deuteronomy
Is it
21?
Deuteronomy? I think it's 22. I believe it's 22.
Oh, I got it.
All right, go.
21 is-
All right,
21.
21.
It's Deuteronomy chapter 21, verse
18.
start at 18. If
Now
a
you
man-
know what? Go to Deuteronomy 21 and 10.
21 and 10.
Yeah.
This is Deuteronomy 21 and 10. When thou goest forth to war against thine enemies,
This is a law. This is a law. You go into war, right? You killing people of another nation.
Right.
You chopping their heads off, you killing them, stabbing them up.
Yep.
Go ahead.
and the Lord Yahweh, thy power, have delivered them into thine
We
hands,
we defeated the enemy. Go ahead.
and have taken, and thou hast taken them captive, and,
Put them in slavery. Go ahead.
and seest among the captives a beautiful woman,
You got them shackled up, and you see some pretty girl from another nation. All right. Go ahead.
and has a desire unto her.
What does that mean?
You want to smash. You want to
That
smash.
means you want to pop it.
She look good.
You want to pop her a couple of times. Go ahead.
You want to
Oh
smash.
Lord. Oh Lord.
that thou wouldest have her to thy wife,
Hulk smash.
then thou,
What makes her your wife? What consummates a marriage?
Sex.
Sex.
Go ahead.
then
Now
thou,
does she have a say in the matter?
No.
No. She's
If
a
she
captive.
if she say I don't like you,
Yeah.
you're ugly, this, that, and the other.
Yeah, well,
matter.
You're from another nation.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
okay.
He don't care. He gonna
Right.
do. He gonna do it. You know.
Yeah.
Go
do
ahead.
the do.
Yep.
says that thou shalt bring her home to thine house.
Now there's a law. You just
Law.
can't pop her.
Right.
Right.
You gotta bring her home
Right.
because you gotta understand that her parents got killed in this
Right.
war.
Right.
Okay, this doesn't happen in America, man.
Right.
This
No.
happens in the ancient world.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Go ahead.
Not in the Western society.
Not in the Western society. That's why you Jakes are so fucked up.
Yeah.
You know? And that's why Dwayne Wade's little 12-year-old son is a flaming faggot.
Yep.
And Dwayne Wade got nothing to do. He
Yeah.
had no problems with it. Why? Because he's in this fucking world. He wants to keep getting them goodies, man.
That's right.
And he wants to keep, what's her name? What's the chick name? Gabrielle Union, because she's
Gabrielle.
all fucked up in the head.
Yeah, yeah,
You know?
Yeah.
But now she's waking up. You talking about one show that she was on, how they racist. What's that show? America Got Talent. And she kind of left the show, but she
Okay.
came out the other day saying, "Well, that was a racist show and a sexist show. And this and you couldn't, you know." Because Jake is fucking waking up.
They're
man.
waking up.
Oh,
Yeah.
And
dude.
like P Diddy.
Yeah,
yeah.
P
P.
Diddy,
Diddy,
man,
yeah.
he cursed him out. You watched that speech?
Count.
He cursed him
Count.
out, man.
Count.
Meek Mill too. Meek Mill
Oh, I didn't
pretty
see-
much
I
said
didn't
the
see
same
that. I didn't
thing.
see
Yeah,
that
yeah.
one. But Jake is waking up, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Go ahead.
They're watching this too.
Oh yeah, that's why they're waking up. Go ahead.
It says, and she shall shave her head and par her nails.
She shall shave her head, cut her nails, right?
Yep.
So she should shave her head bald, which is a sign of mourning. Go ahead.
Morning. Yeah.
And she shall put the raiment of her captivity from off her, and shall remain in thine house, and bewail her father and her mother a full month.
Now she could be fine as hell. You can't touch her
Nope.
for 30 days, for a month. Go ahead.
Oh no.
Go ahead.
Says, and after that thou shalt go in unto her,
What does it mean thou shalt go in unto her?
Smash.
You smash her, have sex with her. What if she don't like it? Tough Diddy.
Yeah.
That's it.
Go ahead.
and
long as
be
you
her
like it.
husband.
And what does it mean be a husband? When you walk down the aisle, dun, 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 dun.
Oh, man.
No,
Oh,
no.
man.
And we gotta illustrate it like
Yeah.
that.
That
Some
nonsense.
Motherfuckers are stupid as hell.
Yeah,
You've
yeah.
been in America too
goddamn
fucking
long, yeah.
man. That's a series right there. You've been in America
Too damn long.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's
man.
why if your son wanna eat Captain Punch and play video games all fucking day,
You're all with it.
you ain't gonna put his ass to death.
Nah.
Well, you can't because we're under Esau's law. man.
Right.
But in the ancient world, if they had video games and Captain Crunch, and your kid was 12 years old,
Yeah.
at 12 years old, that's when you went out and got a job, man.
Right.
You went under another Hebrew that was rich, you know?
Right. Right.
And if he's like, I ain't doing shit, you go to the judges and go, let's get together. And the husband and the wife, the mother and the father, picked up stones along with the judges, and
Yeah.
they stoned that nigga to death, man.
Yep. That's a brutal
You know?
death too.
That's a
Stoning.
brutal death, man.
Yeah.
And you got countless Jakes that's doing that shit, man.
God.
They don't let, oh, there was this one Jake, I think he was like in his 20s, and this guy was living with his mother, and the agreement was, hey, shalom, right? And the agreement was that he got to pay a certain amount of rent. You know, she probably said, give me $100 a week.
Yeah.
So she came to get the rent, and he didn't have the rent. And he was like, fuck you, mom, and shot his mom.
Damn.
Wow.
A nigga from Florida, man.
Yeah,
Now,
nigga.
remember you talking about Florida,
Yeah,
man.
Florida.
I've
Oh,
been
that's
down- them
bottom of the
the
barrel.
niggas on the planet.
And
Florida.
Louisiana is close
Now,
second.
I've been down there. Them
LA,
grimy-ass
LA,
niggas, man.
Louisiana. Them niggas down there, them niggas are
That's
crazy.
why the Most High is going to have to do what to America? He's going to have to sacrifice.
Sacrifice on the altar.
Let's sacrifice it on the altar. And it says the bullock, the goats,
Yep.
and the lamb. The goats are Esau.
Yep.
The lambs and the sheep are Israel. Man.
Israel, yeah.
2/3 of Israel.
Great sacrifice.
Great sacrifice. You
land
know,
of-
sacrifice all the nations. Go ahead. Let's go back to where we left
Smoke
off.
it.
Let's keep reading.
All right, this is Deuteronomy chapter 21, verse 14. And if it be, if thou have no delight in her, then thou shalt let her go whither she will. But thou shalt not sell her at all for money.
By the way,
That's another. Now you
Yep.
can't say you just let it go. I'm not feeling you no more.
Right.
You just let it go.
Right.
But you can't say, well, I'm going to sell her to another man. You can't do that.
Right.
That's going against the law.
Right.
Do you know that you have a law that Israelite men can sell their daughters to another Israelite, can actually sell them? I'm selling you this daughter.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And normally that was a young daughter with an older man. You know?
Yeah.
That's what happened.
There's
back in
nothing
the
wrong with
ancient
that.
world, man.
there's nothing wrong with that. So what are you talking about,
But
man?
the problem is that you've been in America too fucking long, man. So you got your mores and your values mixed and
muddled up.
mingled among
Right.
the ancient values, man.
Con.
Yeah.
Give
Yeah.
me one incident. You got all these princesses of the queens of Israel and shit. Give me one incident where a man died and he was an Israelite and his wife was an Israelite and the brother was an Israelite, where she said, okay, now you got to marry this guy's brother. Give me one incident that ever happened. Huh? Never happened. Never happened, man. So Israel said they know the Lord. They don't study the Lord, man.
No.
Let's continue to read.
It says, thou shalt not make merchandise of her, because thou hast humbled her. If a man have
Oh, by the way, that's where you get the word whoremonger. That's another guy that laying pipe to women. Oh, you're a whoremonger.
A whoremonger means selling whores.
Yeah.
Meaning selling your daughter. It's actually selling your daughter.
Like a pimp. You know, like
It's,
a
you know,
pimp.
well, selling your daughter.
Yeah.
You're selling your daughter. That's a whoremonger. Someone that sells his daughter and brings her back. You know?
Yeah, because monger means seller.
Yeah,
Like
seller,
fishmonger.
yeah,
That's a guy who sells fish.
Yeah.
You got
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, it says Romans chapter 7, verse 21. First Timothy chapter 1, verse 8. But we know that the law is good if a man uses it lawfully.
got a lot of Israelites not following.
You got the first step is you got to learn the law.
Yeah. Speaking of the law, you got a lot of cats wearing long. If they ain't wearing long braids, they're wearing long dreadlocks, and the law clearly speaks against that. But they don't care.
Well, Paul speaks against it. But
Yeah.
then, if you're not going to listen to what Paul said, then go tear all the pages out where Paul speaks.
Yeah.
Unless you're a Nazarite.
Pretty much you got to tear most of the New Testament out.
Damn near the whole New Testament.
Yeah. He said it's a shame for a man to have long hair, but it's a glory to a woman to have long hair because that's her glory.
Speaking of the devil, Steve Harvey.
Oh yeah,
Look
that's
at that, he
smart.
got a completely bald head with a big smile. Looks like a black
Bullfrog.
Karl Marx and shit. You know?
With a
Bullfrog with a
paintbrush for a
mustache.
Yeah. Where's his beard at, man? Got the suit and tie on. That's why your daughter's completely out of order, man.
Hey, Godfrey, he made a mockery out of that dude. Man. You know, Godfrey, he was imitating that nigga, that cool Steve Harvey. He got him good, man. He got him good. That laugh, that stupid laugh he has. You know?
Go
got
ahead.
it, brother.
Romans 7, verse 12, it says, wherefore the law is holy, and commandment holy, and just and good.
Yep.
Hey, that's why in the kingdom, them Jakes, they're gonna be ashamed, man. You know, they always cheesing for Esau, you know, doing all this shit for Esau.
Well, when I'm working on cheese, so I smile. Hey,
Oh yeah, I mean,
you
you
gotta
know,
play. You gotta. Well,
Yeah.
I'm playing them.
but
I'm playing them, motherfuckers.
Con,
Till
they-
the kingdom comes.
they're doing it for their livelihood for real, you know. You know, when we do it, we doing it, you know.
I got a quick precept for you.
ahead.
Psalm 137 and 3. For they that carried us away captive required of us a song, and they that wasted us, man, required of us mirth. Like cheese, nigga, show them teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah,
know?
they had. If you watch the Grammys, they had. You have the white media, so-called white media, to
Yeah.
show you how racist and hateful Esau is. And then you have the so-called black media. You had this one media group called Black Tree TV,
Uh-huh.
and they had the Jake performers passing by, and they would pass by the black so-called black media. And then there's one guy said, "Come on, brother, I'm from the hood too, brother. Come on, brother." You know that dude that has a cowboy hat, Little Nas?
I heard about it. I know.
Man, that nigga can't sing to save his fucking. Well, yeah, he's gay. He's gay. That's why he's up there. That dude can't sing, man. That dude can't sing. He sings some fucking cowboy song with a Miley Cyrus father and shit.
Brokeback
I mean,
Mountain.
it's corny, man. And he wears a pink suit with a pink cowboy hat.
Yeah.
And they got him praising him and shit, you know?
That's Brokeback Mountain.
Yeah. Well, if you see the dude, he can't sing to save his life. I don't know why the fuck this guy was on the ground. Go ahead.
Well, the Grammys, I read a story about it. It's the worst, that was the lowest turnout, viewer turnout.
Oh,
watch.
well, what scriptures come to mind? What scriptures come
The-
to mind?
The daughters of music shall be brought low.
Bring it out. Bring it out.
Yeah. Bring it out. Bring it out.
Hey, the only one that got down, a couple of them got down. Ariana Grande. Now she's supposed to be Italian, but she's a straight up Jake, man.
Yeah.
She brags that she's a singer. But she's straight up. You ever listen to her sing, Jamal? She can
Not
sing,
really.
She
Not
can
really.
sing. She's a legit singer. You know?
Really.
Yeah.
Just add to your commentary.
Go ahead.
Me and Nas were just talking on it over there. We brought up that same script. Because it's that fat whale, you know, that fat black woman.
Oh
And she
yeah.
was singing,
You
so-
talking about Liz? What's her
Yeah,
name?
Liz or something.
You know what her
She was
problem
twerking
is?
at a Lakers
But
game.
you know what her problem is? You can see she's real pretty in the face. When she was a kid, somebody was touching her, man. It was either her father, her brother, or her uncle, or somebody. She was getting touched, man. And that's why she got all that weight. She got all that weight on her, man. You know? And that's why she does some crazy things. It's a cry for help.
Cry for help. Yeah.
It's a cry for help, man.
You were making your. Okay.
So I really can't knock her, you know.
She was twerking in the middle of
But the thing, that's a cry for help, brother. She was
messed up.
being touched on a regular.
It's messed up in the
That's
head.
the average
Could've been
black
a
woman.
father, you know, and then she can't, and then you ain't gonna come out and say, well, my father did that, because that's a shame to the whole
To the family. Yeah.
So you got to keep it to yourself, you know.
Son.
I'm not saying it was a father or uncle, but she was getting touched, man.
Right.
Ecclesiastes 12:3 and 4. In the day when the
And
keepers.
that's big among Jake, man.
Yeah.
You know, these fathers among Ephraim. That's really big among Ephraim. Among Jake, your uncle, papa, your fucking brothers and shit, cousins. and
Precious.
shit.
That movie Precious.
Yeah, that's it.
That was-
that's it.
that was
that's
about
that's a thing that Jake don't want to talk about. Esau does
taboo.
it too.
Taboo.
You know, it's taboo, man.
Yeah. Ecclesiastes 12.
These Israelite niggas gonna jump in through a fucking window like John Shaft and shit. The last scene, you're gonna get that rope and jump it through the window. With the gun. I see you. You get ready to pop your daughter.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna go for it, go all the way, man. Go all the way.
Do it expeditiously.
Do it expeditiously and go all the way. You know, what about all the adultery that's going on? Nobody's offended at that.
Yeah.
Nobody's fucking offended at that. There's adultery going on all over the place. There's little girls in the hood, any day of the week, you go past the school, you see two 12-year-old girls, 13-year-old girls holding hands, kissing each other, man.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, they got
You see so-called black woman, one woman dress up and look like a dude and walk like a dude,
Yep.
and the other one looking all pretty, man. But nobody says nothing about that. This
Yeah.
is fucking hypocrisy, man.
God.
Yeah, man. Ecclesiastes 12:3 and 4. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and
This is why we don't want to get, we ain't gonna have no fucking unity camps or nothing like that, brother.
yeah, we love it that way.
Because if you're teaching something different than what we're teaching, we don't want to have nothing to do with you, man. And a lot of you guys do things based upon your goddamn emotions. man.
Emotions, yeah. Yeah, you're not true defenders of the gospel. That's what we're finding out. First of all, they can't defend something they don't know. A lot of those guys, they don't really know the gospel like they should. That's 1 Corinthians 15. Awake to righteousness, for some have not the knowledge of the Heavenly Father. I speak this to your shame. Those guys ought to be ashamed, you know? Anyway, Ecclesiastes 12:3 and 4. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out the windows be darkened, and the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low.
That's your job. Grinding meaning jobs. Go ahead.
And he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low.
Yeah, that means music is crap. This music is crap.
It's
man.
crap, yeah.
And I watched it. I watched the Grammys, and the shit was lackluster.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah. Yep.
So,
Go ahead.
this is Isaiah 24, verse 8. The mirth of tabrets ceaseth, the noise of them that rejoice endeth.
Damn.
The joy of the harp ceaseth.
Damn.
Now give me Revelation 18 and go right to the point of the music.
God.
You can start at the 18 verse. Start at the 18 verse.
Revelation chapter 18, verse 18. And cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, what city is like unto this great city? And they cast dust
It
on
is
their
not
head.
talking about Vatican City. You know, it's not talking about New York City. It's talking about America. Go ahead.
And they cast dust on their heads and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, alas, alas, that great city wherein were made rich all that had ships in the sea by reason of her coastline.
Stretch like this.
For in 1 hour,
Costliness.
so like costliness.
That works.
For in 1 hour is she made desolate.
And what thing is gonna be used to make America desolate? The missiles.
Yep.
That's why we know the missiles are in the scriptures. Go ahead.
That's what's going to put the fire on the altar.
Put the fire on the altar. Yep. Go ahead.
Verse 20, rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles.
So
and
what are we
prophets.
supposed to do when we see this place on fire? We're supposed to praise the Most High.
Joyce.
Go ahead.
For the Most High, Yahweh Shai, have avenged you on her, and a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone, and cast it into the sea, saying, thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all.
Because it's going to be a big desert. Isaiah spoke about it. Isaiah 34 is about America becoming one big vast desert. You got a precept? Oh, okay.
Well, hold on to that. Hold on to that. We're going to get to that. Go ahead. Keep reading.
Verse 22, and the voice of harpers and musicians, and of pipers and trumpeters
There
shall
it
be
is.
heard no more at all in
They
her.
ain't going to
That's
have
it.
no more Grammys and
No more Grammys.
Oscars and Emmys. You know? MTV Music Award. You ain't going to have no more fucking Super Bowl. No more boxing events. No more Las Vegas. No more Empire State Building. It's going to be destroyed, man. Go ahead.
And no
Now you can
craftsman,
ignore the prophets and do more you want, Donald Trump, but this place is out of here, man.
Finish.
Yeah, I was doing some more research on Nero Caesar. You know Nero Caesar killed his own mother?
Damn.
So you know that's the devil, you know? Go ahead.
it says, and no craftsman or whatsoever craft he be shall be found any more in thee, and the sound of a millstone shall be heard no more at all in thee.
Meaning no
ahead.
jobs.
And the light of a candle shall shine no more at all in thee, and the voice of the bridegroom and of the bride shall be no more heard at all in thee.
Yeah, there ain't gonna be no more Junes.
June
It's
bride.
June. Ain't no.
Ain't no Michael Chick. Anyway, you got the big thing is June brides.
Yeah, June
You know,
bride.
they're setting it right now. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
And again, if there's a marriage, that means this woman got total control of this dude.
Oh, he's a wimp. He's a pussy
He's
wimp.
a complete wimp, man. You know.
Yeah, Bridezilla, like that stupid show,
Oh, I met
Bridezilla.
at the first one. It was a Jake. I don't know if you saw the first.
Nah, I don't
season.
watch that.
I mean,
Just know
this
about
was
it.
years ago. This
Cut,
was years
cut,
ago.
cut, cut, cut.
And this chick, dark,
Yeah.
light-skinned chick with short hair,
Cut.
actually ran into her at the DMV and shit. You know.
Oh, yeah?
She was kind of looking at me.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
So that bitch, you know, because in my mind I said that bitch they got divorced.
Yeah, yeah. Any man that gets so-called married and this, you know that man, something wrong with him.
Well, that's
man.
called the old ball and chain.
Yeah,
That's all it is.
something wrong with you, man.
Old ball and chains. You know. Go ahead.
Trouble and strife.
It says,
Yeah, right, triple.
for thy merchants were the great men of the earth,
Cockney.
for by thy sorceries were all nations deceived.
What's better? That right there show you that this is good. Because that's how the Roman soldiers used to come into town. They're coming on horseback, man.
Right.
You know?
And that's not good for the horses, man. And this hard ass concrete, that ain't good for the horses, man.
Go ahead.
It says,
That's proof that this is wrong, man. There's not too many cities that have, horseback. There's certain major cities, but, as the whole America, you don't see cops on horses and shit.
No.
But in New York, you do, you know? Go ahead.
it says, for thy merchants were the great men of the earth, for by thy sorceries were all nations deceived, and in her was found the blood of the
And
prophets.
what is her sorcery? Her media.
Yeah.
Her media.
Hollywood.
Her magic.
Yeah.
Hollywood.
man.
Yep.
You know?
That's just putting all the spells on people.
That's what putting the spell. Well, the reason why it was called Hollywood Land, and the land part got knocked down. It was called Hollywood, and Hollywood is Holywood, which you make the
Wand.
the wands. You know?
God.
Yeah, like they had the story of a woman who jumped off the sign and committed suicide. They jumped off the Hollywood sign, committed suicide. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, hey, because the mentality of people today, a lot of it has been pushed through the media, especially through that TV.
The media people, the news people are nothing but failed actors. They try to be this great actor, and they know they can't make it, but
Want to
they
be
got
on
the
TV.
looks.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
learn the news shit, you know?
Yeah.
Basically, what they do is they read from the teleprompter.
God.
The news is presented to them.
They still on the tube, so to speak.
Exactly. There's this. If you go to YouTube, every once in a while you'll see somebody make a newscast and they'll say something happened today in an exact order. Somebody jumped off of the bridge, and that was a terrible crime or whatever, heinous crime. Then they'll go to another news station and the newscaster say the same exact thing the same way that the other person says. And they'll show, if you go to YouTube, it'll show you that.
Wow.
It'll show you maybe 20, 30 different news people, and they'll say the same exact thing. So what was given to them is script.
Yeah, script,
That's what
yeah.
you're going to say.
All right.
You know?
Yeah, the woman's name was Peg Entwistle. Entwistle gained notoriety after she jumped to her death from atop the H on the Hollywood land sign in September 1932 at age of 24.
She's probably an actress that they
Yeah, failed actress.
failed
Yeah,
actress. See, if they had news, she could have made that news.
yeah. That's the next rung down.
Yep, that's
Because those guys were all failed actors. Those newscaster people, they were failed actors.
most
That
of
never,
them,
yeah, most of them.
actors, yeah.
And then you notice, like in a lot of movies, they always get the actual anchors from these different,
Because they were failed actors.
and in the movie,
Yep.
you know.
That's right.
That's why this guy, he made that song, the lead singer of the Eagles. The song was called Dirty Laundry. The first line of the song goes, "You got the bubblehead bleach blonde. She can tell you about the news." So, let me see. Talking about he was making fun of those newscasters, how they really empty-headed. They're morons, but they put them in front of the TV because they look good, and they, some of them can barely read, but as long as they look good,
Well, they say politics is nothing but show business for ugly people.
Damn.
Dirty.
All right, go ahead, read on.
Revelation chapter 18, verse 24, last verse. And in her was found the blood of prophets and of saints and of all that was slain upon the earth.
Yeah, because we were slain, man. You know?
Yep, here it is right here. From
You can go from there to Daniel 7, go right to the point.
the lyrics from Dirty Laundry. We
Matter of
got,
fact, go to the 18 verse. Daniel 7 verse 18.
it says, we got the bubble-headed bleach blonde who comes on at 5. She can tell you about the plane crash with a gleam in her eye.
Yeah, well, yep.
It's interesting when people die, give us dirty laundry. That's the name of the song, Dirty Laundry. Yeah.
Go ahead, you got it out?
Yeah, this is Daniel 7, verse 18. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever.
So now you got to ask yourself, who are the saints?
Yep. I
And
got
the saints are the Israelites.
Psalm, I got a
You want to
precept.
go to it?
Yeah, Psalm 148 and 13.
13 and 14, 13.
Yeah, Psalm 1.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead, go get that one now. Since you got it. Go ahead.
This is Psalm 50 and 5. Gather my saints together unto me, those that have made a covenant with me by sacrifice.
So what does that go back to? That goes back to when you was in the wilderness and got the laws.
That's right.
You know, covenant was the old covenant. You know, the old agreement. And the new agreement, the new covenant, is gone to the saints as well. Look, man, vocab, rest of you guys out there, you done lost, man. You done lost it. The only way you can win is if you're an Israelite. And I even said it in your face. I said you could be an Israelite.
Yeah.
Like I said, David Wood could be an Israelite. Man.
Yep.
But if you're an Edomite, that's your ass. Then you say, well, look, Tahar, what if you were Edomite? You know, God's gonna have you as a slave. I said, look, if I'm an Edomite, there's nothing I can do about it. You know.
You got to drag me in this madness. Leave me alone,
But
goddammit.
the only thing you can do is hope like hell that you are Israelite. That's the
Yeah.
only thing you can do is hope like hell that you are. If you look like an Edomite, you better hope. You better hope like hell
Yeah.
that you are Israelite, man.
Yeah, well, he himself, vocab, you said basically vocab, you said we keep it real. Of all the Israelite groups, did you not say that? That Greatmillstone keeps it
Because
real.
that's all we can do, man. All we can do. I was reading one scripture which speaks about how I forget what I even. You know how you read so many scriptures.
Yeah,
you can't
yeah.
even remember.
Gone,
Yep.
gone.
Go ahead.
Psalm 148, 13 and 14. Let them praise the name of the Lord, for his name alone is excellent.
Where you reading from?
Psalm 148, 13 and 14.
Go ahead.
Let them praise the name of the Lord, for his name alone is excellent. His glory is above the earth and heaven. He also exalteth the horn of his people, the praise of all his saints, even of the children of Israel, a people near unto him. Praise ye the Lord.
Go right quick to Luke 1 verse, I believe it's 68.
Okay. Luke 1 and
I
68.
believe 68 down to 70, 71.
Yeah, something like that.
Thereabouts.
Luke 1 and 68 says, blessed be the Lord, power of Israel, for he hath visited and redeemed his people, and have raised up an horn of salvation for us in the house of his servant David, as he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began,
Go ahead.
that we should be saved from our enemies and from the hand of all that hate us, to perform the mercy promised to our fathers, and to remember his holy covenant, the oath
That's
which
the laws. Go ahead.
the oath which he swore or swear to our father Abraham, that he would grant unto us that we, being delivered out of the hand of our enemies, might serve
There it
him.
goes again. We're in the hand of our enemies.
Absolutely.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
We're subject to payments.
payments, yeah.
Go ahead.
Out of the hand of our enemies might serve him without fear, in holiness and righteousness before him all the days of our life. And thou, child, shalt be called the prophet of the highest, for thou shalt go before the face of the Lord to prepare his ways, to give knowledge of salvation unto his people by the remission of their sins. Their sins.
Who's that talking about? That's talking about Israel.
Yeah.
Give me Acts 5 verse 29 on down.
Okay, Acts 5 and 29 says, Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, We ought to obey the Most High rather than men. The power of our fathers raised up Yahushua, whom he slew and hanged on a tree. Him have Yahweh exalted with his right hand to be a prince and a savior, for to give repentance to Israel and forgiveness of sins.
So that's talking about national Israel. The people that came out of Jacob, direct line of Jacob. That's why I keep saying it. That's why Paul said what he said in Romans the 9th chapter. My brother and my kinsman according to the flesh. You can't get around that. Who are Israelites? To whom pertaineth, yeah, go right to it.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 9, verse 4. I saw that tree. It says, "For I would wish that myself were accursed from Hamashiach Yahushai for my brethren, my kinsmen according to the flesh, who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption and the glory and the covenants and the giving of the law and the service of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai and the promises, whose are the fathers, and of whom as concerned the flesh, Hamashiach Yahushai came, who is over all, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai blessed forever."
You can't get around with that. When you capitalize it, he's talking about the children of Israel,
That's
the
it.
sons of Israel.
it.
Nobody else.
That's it. They were the only ones given the laws.
We're the only ones giving the law, giving the covenant.
Covenant. Yep.
Both covenants. Go ahead.
2 Ezra 5 and 27. "And among all the multitudes of the people, thou hast gotten thee one people, and unto this
That's a good
people
one. Go ahead.
whom thou lovest, and thou gavest the law that is approved of all. And now, O Lord, why hast thou given this one people over unto many, and upon the one root hast thou prepared others, and why hast thou scattered thy only one people among many?"
That's it. We're literally scattered all over the planet. Give me Deuteronomy 28 verse 64.
Yeah, we're given to, and that's why Jake is they're making they're complaining about the music industry, how the so-called Jews are the main ones getting over. Well, yeah, we're slaves. That's proof that we're slaves under them. That's why the so-called Jews are getting over in the music industry. It's time you so-called entertainers realize, you Jake entertainers realize that. This proves you're under curse. This proves you're in slavery.
Well, all of them been watching us. All of them.
Yeah.
Anybody that's anybody in Hollywood, in the sport world, they all been watching the Israelites. Whether they watch GMS, whether they watch IUIC,
Yep.
you know, whether they watch any other form of One Westers.
Yeah.
And if you watch IUIC, you have to watch GMS.
Yeah.
So they all look. Kendrick Lamar did that rap.
Yeah.
Don't call me black no more. I'm an Israelite. You know.
Yeah. Puff Daddy made that statement. I'm giving you guys 1 year to get. What are you talking about, man? And Puff Daddy knows that the so-called Jews control the shots. Period. He knows. And furthermore, Puff Daddy, you're the same hypocrite that you rip off your own artists, man. So what are you talking about, man? You got it, brother.
This is Galatians chapter 4, verse 4.
What I asked for? Right. Okay, you can read the Galatians. Go ahead.
All right, this is Galatians 4 and 4. "But when the fullness of the time was come, the Most High sent forth his Son, made of a woman, made under the law, to redeem them that were under the law, that we might receive the adoption of sons."
That's it. Now, somehow a Christian will put that in there, so that all of us can come in now. See, based upon that one scripture right there. No, it's talking about Israel, man. Hey, jump back to Galatians 3 verse 28.
I'm laughing like the thought of the Lord adopting the Edomite, you know. Oh,
Was that Caleb? Caleb was an Edomite.
Yeah.
Some red-hairy guy standing there.
That shit sounds crazy.
First of all, and the Lord says a Moabite or an Ammonite cannot come into the congregation of the Lord, even to what? His 10th generation.
Yeah.
So here's the Lord adopting a Moab. Come here, you little Moabite. Come here, you Ammonite. Come on, man.
Damn, eating
Now,
goddamn
how the Most High
bad.
going to pull a fast one over Moses and bringing Esau up in there as Caleb? When the Most High said, Jacob have I love, but Esau have
Have I hated?
Come on, man.
As if the Most High is senile. And, I forgot I said that. You know, come on, man.
Esau is the nation upon whom the Lord had indignation forever.
That's why he's going to sacrifice
On the altar.
on the altar. Go ahead.
This is Galatians 3 and 28. "There is neither Jew nor Greek. There is neither
That's
bond."
another hook for the fake ass.
There comes vocab dancing.
Boom. Look, we up in there, man.
Yeah.
And what about Agrippa?
Yeah, about
Paul
grip.
was playing
Yeah.
Agrippa, man.
Hey, Paul was fighting for his life.
Yup.
You know?
But it said that Paul got you by God.
Yeah.
And he was crafty.
Come, that's
You
right.
know?
Hey, the
He
man-
used craft to get
That's
Israel.
right.
Yeah, that's
So
right.
you mean to tell me he's gonna be totally honest? He wasn't honest with Israel. He's
playing.
gonna be honest with this Edomite man?
His name was Agrippa, but Paul had him in his grip.
Yep.
He gripped
That was
Agrippa.
when Agrippa and Festus were together, man.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
at the end of the chapter, they said this guy's not guilty of anything.
Right.
You know?
They would have let him go, but it said he appealed to Caesar.
Yep.
You know, but he did that because they were trying to bring him back to Jerusalem,
Yep.
and Jake was trying to kill him.
Yep.
You know,
And them
Yeah,
same
'cause Jake
niggas,
didn't them same clowns are back here today, man.
some of them are in the truth. A lot of them are in the
because they
truth.
don't know- yeah, because there's certain scriptures you got to know. The mark of the beast is the chip. If you don't know that, man, the Most High is not dealing with you, man. Point blank, period. Go ahead.
It said, there is neither bond nor free, there is neither male nor female, for ye are all one in Mashiach Yahushua.
Now that Greek represent what? Israelites that was in a Greek state of mind, foreign state of mind.
Come,
Perfect example.
Timothy's
Timothy's father. Timothy's father was an Israelite that wanted to be a Greek. And I'm gonna go further. This guy, Alexander Tiberius, what's his full name? Julius Alexander Tiberius. He was raised up as a child to be an Israelite in an Israelite family in Alexandria, Egypt, because you had a big number of Israelites living in Egypt. You had a big colony of
Oh yeah.
There have been millions of Israelites living here.
Alexandrian Jews.
Alexandrian Jews.
Come.
And he said he was raised up as an Israelite,
Right.
according to the lineage. But he liked the Romans, the Greeks, and all that.
Come.
So he said, I'm gonna fight for them.
you like
Yeah.
that better.
He liked that, but he knew he was an Israelite, man.
Right.
Yeah.
And he knew he was killing his own people.
Yep.
Yeah. God.
And so that was pretty much the same attitude that Timothy's father had.
Yeah.
You know?
Because this guy Julius Tiberius Alexander, he I believe he put a revolt down in Alexandria among the Israelites in
Right.
Alexandria.
Yeah, right. That's
you know?
when he got his fame. Yep.
Gone.
Yep. He was up there. He was a Jake that was up there, and that was during that time. During that time period, that's when Jake was in high positions,
Yeah.
and Esau was liking them because they were doing their bidding. And then Jake just got up in there and took it all over, man. That's what Esau don't want to do movies on Nerva and
Marcus Aurelius.
Marcus Aurelius and
Right.
Septimius Severus.
Right.
But if he did do a movie on that, there would be Edomites.
Yeah,
Because
Edomites,
there wasn't Edomites.
Right.
That's the fear. That's the fear that Esau has of us,
Yeah.
because they know our records.
Right.
They know that we took them down.
Right.
We got up in the prominent positions, and we took them down, and we totally did away with it, man.
Yeah.
Not did away with them, but brought them down under us.
Right.
That was from the time of 325 all the way up, man.
Yeah, just like the sports in America that was run by Edomites. When Jake got in there, they
dominates.
revolutionized.
Jake
Yeah.
dominates. Now you got Jake in the politics. You got Jake that are
Yep.
lawyers,
Yep.
because they did it to appease Esau. But now they're saying fuck Esau.
Right.
But they got these degrees and they got the boule.
Yeah, the boule,
You
yeah.
know? So a lot of these Jakes are waking up.
Yeah.
Why? Because they seeing us. They ain't seeing Sarnetta getting built up off of that.
Who?
They
Saw
that
who?
black consciousness. Nigga ain't trying to go back to Africa, man. They
You don't-
see that they're Israelites, man.
You don't
And then
even-
you got Africans that in Nigeria, you got so many hundreds of thousands of Nigerians
Yeah.
that know that their line go back to Jerusalem, back to Israel.
They said you famous over there. One guy.
Oh yeah,
said,
yeah. The one guy,
Yeah.
one guy from Africa said that he said me and Nate are famous.
Oh, okay.
I can see why Nate is famous.
Well, he
He's
always
over
goes there, yeah.
I can't even spell Africa. And
Yeah.
I'm famous, you know? I mean, I'll put it out there that way. You know what I'm saying? I ain't been to Africa nowhere near Africa. But how'd I go over there? Through the internet.
In spirit, you went over there.
Through the YouTube.
Yeah, in spirit.
They're watching all them videos.
I got something real quick.
Go ahead.
This is Romans chapter 10, verse 18. But I say, have they not heard? Yes, verily, their sound went into all the earth.
Yeah, through the internet. Through the internet.
Where you reading from?
Romans 10 and 18.
Good, beautiful.
It says, and their words unto the ends of the world.
And how was that able to be accomplished? Through the internet.
Yeah.
Through YouTube.
You didn't have to hop no plane like Nate was doing.
Yeah,
or
we didn't
still
have to
doing.
make no, oh, you got to dig in the comment, boy. When y'all going to come down to Mississippi? We need y'all down there. Well, wait a minute. You got us down there, or whatever group you're following on YouTube.
Yeah.
right.
It's not, we're not like a rock group.
Yeah, like a rock star.
That we're on tour.
Right,
You know,
right.
next week we'll be in Mississippi. And
We're on
gonna
the
go to
world
LA,
tour.
and then
With Muhammad, my man.
we're gonna hop down to Georgia.
Right.
We're gonna go down to Jacksonville,
Yeah.
Florida.
The
And
Chitlin
we're gonna
Circuit.
end our tour in Madison Square Garden.
Yeah,
We ain't entertainers, man.
Right.
that's right.
That's why we don't debate nobody. I ain't got no time to debate nobody.
That's right.
Either you with this truth or you're not with this truth.
Not
man.
with it, yeah.
If I want to debate you, that's a motherfucker take it down the street, man.
Debate me.
Well, that's what he said. And you know the debate is wicked.
Con.
Yeah.
Give me
Proverbs.
Romans 1. It's like the last verse or the last couple of verses.
Come.
It speaks about debate.
Con.
Because the word debate means strife. It means strife. Some preach the Lord for envy and strife.
Right. Con.
Some preach the Lord for debate.
Yep.
Go ahead.
This is Romans 1, verse 29. It says, being filled with all unrighteousness, fornication, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness, full of envy, murder, debate.
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 Debate means you're wicked, man. Because
Full.
you want to be able to, beat overdo a person with your knowledge. Well,
Yeah.
that's not. The scriptures say knowledge puffeth up, but love edifies.
Right.
How
We
does
here
that
to edify.
Right.
You know,
Yeah, how does that edify?
we're gonna have this great debate. I want to debate. Yeah, but the Most High ain't dealing with you, man. So we ain't here to debate. This is not a spectator sport.
Yeah.
The Most High told us to teach this word, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eat this roll and go out and teach the sons of Israel, man.
That's it.
Exactly. What did you win? You win the debate. What'd you win? What?
They're doing it for money, man.
Oh, well, there you go.
Filthy lucre.
Yeah.
I got
ahead,
some.
where we at?
I got some. You got more? You got more? Go ahead. Go ahead.
It says deceit, malignity, whispers,
And debate is deceit. That's a form of deceit. Yep. You got it, bro.
backbiters, haters of the Most High, despiteful, proud, boasters, inventors of evil things, disobedient to parents, without understanding, covenant breakers, without natural affection, implacable, unmerciful, who knowing the judgment of the Most High, that they which commit such things are worthy of death.
Woo. Whoa.
Hold it now.
Worthy, hold up, brother. Worthy commit such things. One of those things is what? Debate. So you keep on debating, the Lord gonna fold your ass up, man. I mean, he gonna take you out.
Like a
He
cheap
said,
taco.
do what did it
And
say
on
here?
top of that, you can't add to the book or take away from the book.
Yeah.
So if you don't want to believe something because you're emotional about it, well, the Most High don't give a damn about your emotions.
Right.
All right?
Yeah, we got to savor what we're reading here. It says, they that do such things as what? Debate are worthy of what? Worthy of death. So how serious is that? You know? That's all I want to say. You got it.
It says, not only do the same, but have pleasure in them that do them.
Woo! Have pleasure in the debate. Yeah, we got the next debate set up, and this debate and that debate.
Yeah, saw another enemy.
You know what you are? You're a reprobate. How about that? You and your debates. Nothing but a reprobate.
Yeah, our job is to teach this word, man, like I said, and then in order for the Most High to deliver us at the appointed time.
That's it.
That's it, man. We're not here to play games with you Negroes, man.
Keep
You
it
know?
simple,
You
like
don't
we
even
always
gotta
say.
go on the fucking media, because the media is all fucking bullshit.
Yeah, it's all bullshit.
You know?
Yeah, that's right.
Go ahead.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 16, verse 18. But they that are such serve not our Lord Yahushua HaMashiach, but their own belly.
That's right. That's right.
Go ahead, you know.
And by good
right.
words and fair speeches
Deceive
the hearts of the
Simple.
simple.
And a lot of guys get off of how they speak, the great
Yep.
oratory.
Yep.
Yeah.
I just tell it like I read it.
Con,
man.
that's it. That's
Or
it.
I just tell it like it is.
From the
That's
heart,
it.
yeah.
I'm not trying to be no great
That's
orator,
right.
man.
That's right.
Con.
That's right.
You know,
That's right.
like before the speaking, I'm going me. You know, what's my best side?
Right. In front of the mirror.
Hey, we do videos. I don't even show my face, man. You know, if you don't know what I look like, so what? I don't give a shit. You hear my voice, it's edifying. That's it. Job done. Finish. Next.
I got
Right?
Salaki.
You ain't got to say, oh, what's he look like? Why you got to know what you want to take me out on a date?
Yeah.
You know, come on. Just teach the truth. That's it.
Con. Yeah, I looked up the word debate. in Romans, the first chapter is the word eris. It says a quarrel, that is by implication, wrangling, contention, debate, strife, variance. Yeah, because one person's gonna have their opinion on something, another person's gonna have
Contention. Contention. And then another thing too with us,
The
we
scripture
teach.
said, teach the word, be in season,
out
out
of
of season. It
season.
didn't say debate the word.
It said
And them
reprove-
guys that are debate, a lot of these guys, they even take the winters off.
Yeah.
Watch in a couple of months, Lord willing, we make it to a couple of months before this place gets taken out. Watch when the springtime and it gets nice. All these camps are gonna be all popped up. Remember, we've been out here every week. From December, November, December, September, up into January. Here it is February, man. And guess what? All praise to how about there's been a mild witness thus far.
Yeah.
So from this point till the first day of May, first day of March, we got what, 4 more weeks?
Yeah.
Right.
4 more weeks, man.
Yep.
So if it gets cold in the next 4 more weeks, guess what? We'll deal with it, man.
Deal with, yeah.
Yeah, and
If it snows, the snow ain't gonna last that long.
No.
If it snows next,
If it snows on a Saturday, we come out on the next day.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
it might rain 2 days later. What is the rain gonna do? Wash away the snow.
And then you're taken away from the scriptures because the Apostle Paul said what? Preach the word, be instant in season, out of season.
it says reprove, rebuke.
Yep.
But then those people that debate, they don't reprove and they don't rebuke, because they'll let each other go on with their own bullshit. You know?
Go ahead.
I got to back up for Apostle Rocco. The etymology of debate, which you covered in quarrel, dispute. But if you go to make war, fight. But then if you go to debate, the prefix and suffix that applies really to the men of the Lord. We're the ultimate debaters. So it says D means to down completely, and beat means to. Bacteria means beat.
Oh,
So it really means
Yeah.
To
down
beat down.
completely or downbeat or beat down.
Beat down.
To beat
Beat
down.
down.
The word. The word. Yep.
belittle. Yeah. Another thing too, we get into words because you get into the scriptures, you're gonna get into words. We learn to read better. You read better. You look up a word. You're not sure about the word. You look it up. So you can get a greater understanding. Nothing wrong with that.
Build your vocabulary.
You build. There's nothing wrong with that, man. But we're not trying to sound like because the Lord didn't choose great orators anyway.
Right. Well, he said he would take away the eloquent orator.
Yeah.
Well, Moses, when the Lord said that he was going to send Moses to speak to Israel, he said, how you going to, I don't know. I believe he said, I am not a man of an eloquent
speech.
Man of slow speech. Yeah.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Moses wasn't no Charlton Heston.
No,
Right.
he wasn't.
10 times have I, that with the fucking. Like when I was a kid, I thought that was actual Moses.
Yeah.
10 times. Pharaoh, am I to be bathed or washed?
Yeah.
That's fucking. That's like.
Hollywood bullshit.
Hollywood bullshit. Man.
Hollywood.
Then they had a white. See, we went for that shit back then. We were fucking kids.
Right.
Your mother didn't tell you nothing.
Right.
That knucklehead called your mother.
Yeah.
She didn't know what it let you watch Jesus.
She sure wasn't.
She let you get your hair plaited watching Jesus.
Yeah.
Jesus, baby, Jesus.
Some of the stuff my mother told me.
Oh, Lord.
And now we don't fall for that shit. If you notice, they don't play them movies no more. Don't be playing those movies because Jake ain't with that shit.
Yeah.
Nah.
Ain't with that bullshit.
That old,
First of all, Moses wasn't no cracker.
yeah.
You know?
No, sir.
Jesus wasn't no cracker.
No, sir.
You know?
There's a scene in the movie when the waters part. They set the camera on the Israel. It's supposed to be the Israel. One woman was like,
Damn.
And that's some bullshit.
she was like this.
Fucking Cecil B. He knew that the Israelites are black.
Yeah, he
because
knew.
he made the 10 Commandments like in 1920 something.
Yeah.
Right.
And he had the guy that played the Most High in Green Pastures.
Right.
What was this guy? I forget the guy's name. Rex something.
Rex Harrison?
No. The Jake. that played, the Most
Rex
High.
Ingram. Rex Ingram.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
Slacker.
Rex Ingram.
Rex
they
Ingram.
Said that he played. They gave a list of. Oh, and by the way, they arrested his ass for having sex with a young girl.
Ooh.
But he played the Most High now. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, they went into his line of work, and they said I think it was 1921, 1922. He said he played a Hebrew Israelite in the movie The Ten Commandments, the original one. So why would Cecil B. DeMille hire a black actor to play a
Because
Hebrew
he knows.
slave?
Yeah.
Because he
Because
knows.
they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then in the movie, when they went before the Pharaoh,
Yeah.
who came before him?
Woody Strode.
Woody Strode,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
He played like a Canaanite.
Yeah,
So they were
yeah.
showing you that they knew that there were black people back
Right.
there.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And most of the people that were black people, yes, you from the from the ancient.
Yeah.
And then they showed fucking Charlton Heston. Some motherfucker, they should have had Billy D. Williams.
Yep.
Fucking Sidney Poitier.
Somebody-
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
you brother look dark.
Yeah,
You know?
well, he's a Jake.
Yeah,
You
he
look-
looked dark. He looked
Yeah.
dark skinned.
He
played the Pharaoh.
Yeah, he looked like a.
He was more jazzy than
He was
Heston.
Jazzy,
he was
yeah.
a Russian Jake. He
Yeah.
was black Russian. You know?
Well,
But they thought he was an Edomite. But Charlton
Yeah.
Heston is an Edomite.
Yeah.
Cut.
You know?
Oh yeah.
Oh, and
Straight
then
up and down.
They showed you. The only time this guy was right is when they showed you that he was with his wife. Well, before he met his wife, and Sephora, which was played by Lily Monster.
Yeah.
She was young and fine.
Yeah, she was young and
she was
fine.
She was still fine when she
Yep.
was playing Lily
Yvonne
Monster.
DiCarlo.
Yeah, exactly.
Con.
Spanish actress.
Con.
The Amalekites came to steal her the water, and she said, "This is Jethro, my father." And they actually showed, I think it was Yapa, actually
Oh, yeah.
in the ancient Hebrew
On
written
the well.
right way.
On the well.
Ten
Yep.
Commandments
Yep.
was written in the actual Hebrew.
Last
Actual
one
Hebrew.
Kodash.
Last one Kodash.
Yep.
Yes.
So Moses came
Yeah.
along and fought the Amalekites. Now, what color were the Amalekites? They were Edomites.
Right.
They were
Yeah.
white. So that's one of the only few times he got it right.
Yeah.
Got it right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they
Even
came
the-
in like honkies too.
Yeah. I was gonna say even on the tablets it was Lashawan Kodash.
That's what I said. That's
Yeah,
what I said.
yeah.
Yeah, they
When
came
you
in
got
like
the Lord- when you got the
cavemen.
Lord,
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
actual Lashwan
Yep.
Kodash.
Con.
Because it said la this, la that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
And I think they even showed like a fiery hand, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
Yeah, my
So those movie producers and directors, they know the Bible, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
They know the Bible.
Well, we always say that.
Yep.
Ridley Scott, he's another one. He's
Yep.
Ridley Scott. He knows.
Yeah, you got it. If you're gonna make a movie about the Bible, you better really know the Bible. You better have some scholars.
Yeah.
You gotta have the right clothes, the designers. You have
Yep.
to have scholars,
Yep.
historians that know how they dress in that particular time.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah.
That's why that producer from King of New York, I believe it was, he rolled up on brother out in we were on Delancey.
Yeah, no, I was there.
You know?
Yeah, because we didn't believe him.
Yeah.
Y'all was out there. Some y'all was out there. Remember when the movie director came up?
Delancey, when we were out on Delancey Street.
That was a while ago.
Yeah, they were young. They were
Yeah,
young brothers.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I didn't believe him because he looked like a bum.
Yeah, I seen him. He had a hat on.
He had
we
a
were across-
hoodie on. He had a hoodie on.
Yep. We
And
were
he said
across
he
the
wanted to make a movie about the end of the world.
Yep,
And he
yep.
said, I know all about you guys.
Yep.
And he said,
Yeah.
the opening scene is going to start with 444. You know?
Yep. So they study us.
Yeah.
So,
Go ahead.
this is Psalm 64, verse 6.
I'm gonna go one with
They search out iniquities,
739.
they accomplish a diligent search. Both the inward thought of every one of them, and the heart is deep.
Yeah, it's talking about their secret society.
So if the inward thought of them is deep, that means they know everything. They make it their
Yeah.
business to know everything. They make it their business. They have the wherewithal and the money and the technology to actually dig things up. They know that David was a so-called black man because they dug up some of his things. They know that the prophets looked the way they looked and did what they did.
Yeah, they know.
Come on, man.
I got a quick precept for you. Ezekiel 28, 1-3. The word of the Lord came again unto me, saying, Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus, Thus saith the Lord power, because thine heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am a God, and I sit in the seat of God, in the midst of the seas, yet thou art a man, and not God, though thou set thine heart as the heart of God. Behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide from thee. With thy wisdom and with thine understanding, thou hast gotten thee riches, and hast gotten gold and silver into thy treasures. By thy great wisdom and by thy traffic hast thou increased thy riches, and thine heart is lifted up because of thy riches. Therefore, thus saith the Lord God, because thou hast set thine heart as the heart of God, behold, therefore I will bring strangers upon thee, the terrible of the nations, and they shall draw their swords against the beauty of thy wisdom, and they shall defile thy brightness.
Yeah, and ultimately, all these nations, all these major nations, that every nation that possesses missiles, they're going to use those missiles.
That's right.
And if they don't use the missiles, the Most High is going to cause them to come out the silo. The silos are built for the missile to come out anyway.
Con.
You know?
So that's you, so-called white man, that all the other nations going to turn against you. And
Anyway, with that, you got one more precept?
Yep.
Bring it on out.
It says, Obadiah chapter 1, verse 3. The pride of thine heart had deceived thee. Thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Though thou exalt thyself as an eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars.
Now stop right there. You exalt yourself as an eagle, your symbol is an eagle, and you set your nest among the stars. Who can that be talking about? You had an Apollo mission, a series of rockets that went up into outer space. You know? And then when you so-called landed on the moon, so-called, what did you call it? You said the eagle have landed, huh?
Yep.
The eagle have landed.
The symbol.
Thou set thy nest among the stars.
Yep. Yeah, the symbol of America is an eagle.
It's an eagle. Yep.
It says,
Go ahead.
Thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord Yahweh. Watch me out, shot.
Most I'm going to bring them down. Anyway, with that, we're going to say shalom. It's on to the next.
Shalom to the